yield the result that we all hope to achieve, contention. Meanwhile, we are excited by the fan optimism that we see, the local appreciation for the basketball purity that our young players exhibit, and the subtle identity taking shape with our teams: professional, hardworking, competitive, and joyful. That's a brand of basketball this city can get behind, and it'll be our identity moving forward. And I'm happy to answer questions.
Start with Gene. Go ahead and then
Hey, Michael, Gene Wong, The Washington Post. Just specifically with the Wizards, how does the acquisition of Trey kind of raise the profile in the bigger picture and longer term, maybe as it pertains to developing the youth on the roster and also maybe making DC an attractive landing spot for other players you might be considering?
Trey Young? Well, I thought Will did a really amazing job of addressing that a couple weeks ago. But ultimately, Trey Young has a very long track record of making other players around him better, particularly on the offensive end. And for what we are trying to do organizationally, player development remains our identity. We believe that Trey Young will contribute mightily to our player development program, not only for himself, but all of our athletes. And I think guys just have fun playing with him. And so by doubling down on joy, we believe very much, whether it's on the strategy team, on the coaching staff, and the evaluation team, if you love what you're doing, you're probably going to be very good at what you're doing. And so we want our players to continue to love playing basketball. It's not really an issue for our guys, but I think Trey Young plays a joyful brand of basketball, and I think that that'll be contagious among our athletes.
David.
Michael, David Aldridge with The Athletic. I know this coming draft is very important for the Wizards. However it goes is how it goes. But regardless of how it goes, are you pledging that the teardown is not only done, but we are now going to make significant additions to the roster besides bringing in Trey, given the incredible amount of cap space that you guys have, that you can bring in maybe multiple players, but at least one additional impact player this offseason?
If I'm understanding the question correctly, it's having added Trey Young, are we now in the marketplace to just continuing to pile on elite talent?
To add at least one more player, because he doesn't take up, you still have a lot of cap space, even if you bring him in, even with his salary next season.
Yeah. I think the answer is I don't know. I think that we will remain opportunistic. I think that we will continue to evaluate the marketplace for what's available. We are not hitting a gas pedal of any sort, if that's sort of inferred in the question. We think acquiring a 4-time All-Star in his prime was sort of a hell of an acquisition for us. It has gas pedal implications, but we're not necessarily hitting the gas pedal. And so whatever we do with that cap space, it might evaporate in the next 2 weeks. We just don't know. But we'll do something creative with that cap space. It could be acquiring a player, it could be trading for a player, it could be re-signing some of our own players. We're working through all those scenarios right now.
Let's put it another way. Next season, should there be a jump? Should there be an expected jump in terms of the team's not only one-loss record, but ambition, getting back towards the playoffs, getting back towards being a contending team?
I am not personally setting some kind of a barometer on what next season ought to be. My expectation is that, particularly with Trey Young on the basketball team, and the development of our young players, Alex, Key, Bilal, Bub, Trey, etc., we are going to be better next season than we are this season. How much better remains to be seen. But I think that we all would expect us to be better and more competitive next season. And Trey by himself will put us in more competitive basketball games than we've been in.
Hi, Jen Hatfield with the 9 Basketball. On the Mystics side of things, with the negotiations ongoing over the CBA, can you kind of take us inside how you, Sydney, and Jamila are preparing, or what you guys are able to do right now? And does the kind of pause that we're in right now, waiting for a new CBA, does that affect your longer-term plans or timeline with the Mystics?
Multi-part question. I'll see if I can address all parts. What we do right now is we spend a lot of time pontificating and predicting and projecting and hoping that we can predict what the rules are going to be, but there's a lot of scouting going on right now. Obviously, the NCAA season is underway. And then Of course, it would be nice if the next CBA is speedy and fair for all parties. That would be a delight. I expect that to happen at some point, but I can't really predict sort of like what it will look like. We're waiting and seeing, but it's not terribly disruptive because we're on a level playing field with all the other teams who are monitoring the same situation.
Just a quick follow-up on that. You mentioned development, and you don't have a ton of young players on the roster who aren't free agents to be able to develop right now, right? So how do you kind
You're saying we don't have a lot of players to develop?
Well, you have, some young players still under contract, but a lot of, the players around the league and a lot of players who were on the roster last year are free agents. So I'm curious kind of how you kind of continue that spirit of player development this offseason.
Well, the athletes work out together a lot. Sometimes in our building, sometimes elsewhere. They spend a lot of time together. Obviously, some of them are playing in other leagues right now. But playing competitive basketball is a huge part of player development. And so when these athletes go into the offseason, they take with them a really thorough, robust player development program plan from us. And then we stay in regular communication with them, their strength and conditioning coaches, their trainers, et cetera. And so we monitor their development.
Hey, Michael, Kareem Copeland, Washington Post. I'm going to follow up on some Mystic stuff there. Just mentioned free agency. Just about every player in the league that's not on a rookie deal is going to be a free agent. With the foundation that you guys have, Sonia, Kiki, Georgia, a couple other young draft picks coming up, do you see yourself in position to be active in this free agency period when literally just about every veteran in the league is going to be available? So are you guys kind of in that part of the process where you would be interested in possibly taking a swing at a more established veteran?
Sure. I think that we have to explore all avenues. I think that we have to explore trades. I think that we have to explore free agency. But at the very end of the day, we are firmly committed to building a team around Sonia and Kiki. Georgia likely as well, and then we're going to have another high pick in this draft. We'd love to bring back some of the free agents that we have, and I'm sure that Jamila will take a lap around the free agent league to see who would have some interest in coming here, but we aren't necessarily putting all of our eggs in one basket and chasing one or two free agents.
And a quick follow-up, you've talked a lot about the facilities over here, the rebuild and that kind of thing. But where do you see the Mystics in that process as far as, they're I do believe, second smallest home arena in the league, and across the league, people are building new facilities and trying to get into bigger buildings. So where do you kind of see the Mystics fitting in that part as far as facility-wise?
Well, there's a couple things. One, I think that the facility that we have right now for the Mystics is an amazing facility for them. I think that the cohabitation of the Sticks and the Wizards is really beneficial for both teams. I think that it just becomes a pure basketball environment. And then with respect to the arena size, at the conclusion of the Capital One transformation, the Mystics are going to be playing a lot of basketball games here at Capital One. And so I have no concerns about the arena that we play in at down in Southeast. In fact, I sort of like the intimate environment quite a bit when the fans call for it. And then we're going to have, 12 to 15 games a year or more here at Capital One.
Michael, Josh Robbins from The Athletic. I know hindsight is 20/20. It's now been 18 months since the team traded Denny. Was that trade a mistake?
No, it was not a mistake. I'm very, very happy for Denny. We're all very happy for Denny. We saw Denny as a very high-level ascending player. I'm super happy for him, super happy for the Blazers. We've got a lot of friends there with the Blazers. But no, because we did it for the reasons we said then, which is to, in effect, take us back a couple of years so that we could reset the roster, and everybody was sort of on the same age curve, and Denny's ahead of that.
Hey, Michael, Tyler Byram, Monumental Sports Network. This might just be a clarity question from your opening statement, but do you believe with the Mystics specifically that in year one you guys have been able to lay that foundation to be able to build forward with Kiki and Sonia? Do you believe that phase of what you're trying to build has already been done?
To the extent that I can, to the extent that I'm interpreting your question as having a clear line of demarcation between one phase and the next, probably not. I think that they sort of all just blur into the next phase. The athletes themselves sort of tell us when we're ready to graduate onto the next phase by their competitiveness, their ability to carry a team. So the answer is I don't know. I mean, I'm really eager to see Georgia play, and I'm really eager to see who we draft in this draft. I'd like to see who we bring back in free agency, but I couldn't tell you what necessarily phase we are in or if some foundation has been laid. I know culturally the foundation has been laid. I think that Sonia and Kiki, together with our coaching staff and our front office, I think they represent everything that we want the Mystics to be about. And so from that perspective, I'm extremely, extremely satisfied with where we are.
Additional questions?
Michael, a year and a half into Brian Keefe's tenure as the permanent head coach, how do you assess how he's performed, and how do you assess what his future looks like?
I think Brian has done a remarkable job. I think Brian has done everything we've asked him to do. He's developed young athletes. He's built a culture of competitiveness, accountability, togetherness, and joy. He marches out there every day, coaches these guys on both ends of the floor. He's built an amazing coaching staff. I'm very, very pleased with the job that Brian has done.
Hey, Michael, Ben Standig with Team 980 and Last Man Standing. This might be difficult to answer, but with all these players being so young, other than Trey per se, and if this is the group that you see going forward, do you see Trey with this group as being the core to get you up towards that contender level, or is this with Trey to get these guys to competitive level, to have them start to learn, what it takes to win and then figure it out from there?
I don't know that I could accurately project some phantom delta between being competitive and being contenders. We want to be more competitive on the go forward, and I think that Trey Young helps elevate us into that competitive space. I think if and when we become contenders is going to be a function of how well and how quickly our young players develop, who else we can add to the team over the next handful of years. But Trey Young unequivocally will make us a better basketball team, and he will help us evaluate our players through a more refined lens so that we can understand who will be part of that eventual contending team.
And as far as Trey goes, obviously he's been a multi-time All-Star. We've seen what he can do. What do you envision for him whenever he's ready to go as the role within this group as the main guy, facilitator? How do you kind of see him fitting in with this group?
Probably a better question for Will and BK. When I watch our games, I sort of, for better or worse, fall back into fan mode. But I expect him to be a primary ball handler. I expect him to get guys good shots. I expect him to teach. And I don't mean just teach the ball handlers. I expect him to teach everybody on the floor and everybody off the floor how to play basketball at his level. We're really optimistic with the results that we expect. But he is a four-time All-Star. But he's also not the only highly accomplished athlete on our basketball team. Chris Middleton is a very highly accomplished athlete as well. And he has had an enormous leadership influence on our players. He's had an enormous on-court impact for our team. And I expect Trey to have a similar impact.
Hey, Michael, Kareem Copeland again, Washington Post. I want to ask about Shakira Austin. She'll be a restricted free agent. We've talked a lot about the youth and setting that foundation with Kiki, Sonia, Georgia. Do you consider her part of that core that you hope to have long-term in the future? Or is this kind of a, we'll see how the negotiations play out sort of a thing?
Both are true. Yes, I love Shakira, and I foresee her being a part of this team for a long time. She does have the power of choice. She is a free agent, and she's earned that. And so she'll have the opportunity to explore her options. I hope that we are an attractive option for her, and we'll go from there.
Jen Hatfield again, the 9 basketball. Wanted to ask you about Jamila, kind of in a similar vein to Josh's question earlier. You know, she's coming up pretty much on year 1 of her tenure, and just curious, you know, how you've kind of seen her grow in her role and settle in, and just kind of what you've thought of year 1 of what she's done with the Mystics.
Yeah, I think that our roster is a testament to the work that she's done. She's made a lot of trades. She's drafted really, really well. She's assembled a team that I think loves playing together, and I think that they have a lot of versatility that they can lean into going forward. I know she's working her tail off to scout for this upcoming draft. She has a lot of picks in this draft, but I'm very, very pleased with the job that Jamila's done this first year.
And, of course, for all your latest news on the Wizards and the whole of Monumental Basketball, keep it right here to Wizards Radio 24/7.
The following is a special presentation of Wizards Basketball on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
And then Trey Johnson pull up 3 and third. Don't do it, rookies. Cunningham off the screen, drives to the basket. Sarr said no.
The 2025-2026 Washington Wizards season is presented by Capital One, the official bank and credit card of the Washington Wizards. By Caesars Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the Washington Wizards. By Robinhood, the official brokerage and jersey patch partner of the Washington Wizards. And by Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of the Washington Wizards.
Volley cuts to his right. Right elbow. Hold the children.
Join play-by-play man Dave Johnson and color analyst Glenn Consor for the radio party.
Couple head fakes, turn, shoot, scores!
Check in on X by tweeting at Dave J Sports and at Glenn Consor.
Go Wizards.
And now, here is your voice of the Washington Wizards, Dave Johnson.
Here we go. Dave Johnson, Glenn Consor, Chase Hughes, Chris Wright, Brian Albert, welcoming you to Washington Wizards basketball on the radio. Tonight from Capital One Arena, it is the Washington Wizards and Portland Trail Blazers. Blazers team that now features former Wizard Denny Avdia. More on that coming up. But we begin with All-Star news. Earning his second Castro Rising Star selection, Alex Sarr. Rebound, Giannis. Sarr. McCollum gets it. 6 seconds. McCollum on the wing. Baseline right. Shoots.
Bang.
Scores.
Big time.
Scores.
Alex Sarr with a big time block.
And McCollum.
CJ McCollum.
The baseline jumper. The Wizards go up 114-113 with Uno. 1 second left. Sarr the block. Yes, Sarr helping the Wizards secure a win over the Milwaukee Bucks in December with that block. And McCollum looking to go at Edgecombe. McCollum looking for an option out front of Sarr. Left elbow driving. Dump stop. Gets in the restrict arc. Puts in the shot over a Dembona. And it's 28 points for Alex Sarr. 122-109. Yeah, that was part of his 31-point masterclass against the 76ers in October. And hear what Glenn Consor said. He is becoming more comfortable in the paint. And in his second year, making his first appearance in the Castro Rising Stars All-Star game, Keyshawn George. Right corner, George opens for 3. It's there. Huge. Oh, it's there. 113-103. And Keyshawn George say goodbye to 20 points. He's got 32. Oh, remember that from the win in Dallas in October. 34 points, 11 rebounds, had 7 3-pointers. And making his first appearance, of course, in his rookie year, Trey Johnson. He's coming off a career-high 26 points on Saturday against the Hornets and a career-high 6 assists. Matchup with fellow draft classmate Con Knippel of the Charlotte Hornets. And for Chris Wright.
Kind of felt that energy coming into this game because it's kind of a conversation who's a better shooter between Con and Trey. And this is a heck of a freshman class, and these two are big time shooters that have, you see them being 10, 12 years down the line competing for some type of 3-point records or some type of thing, the way they shoot the ball, and being winning some multiple championships and shooting at high percentages. So I think Trey, in his competitive nature, had this game circled on the calendar just for his, his edge, because he feels like he's the best shooter on the court. So there's a little bit of inner competition just because of the rivalry of the classes coming in. And then all of these guys are they're about the same age. There's a lot of rivalry here, and I think Trey has been kind of priming himself for this. He's been getting starts. He's starting to get, more attempts. He's getting comfortable taking the shots from distance, and everybody else is expecting him, and they're comfortable with him taking shots. So I think over time, you're going to see his attempts go up. You're going to see his his style get more defined. You're going to see his creativity off the pick and roll. That's an underrated part of his game. He's really good off the pick and rolls with the ball in his hands. Once he starts to figure out how to really move without the ball, like a Klay Thompson, like a Steph Curry, like some of the great shooters, a Rip Hamilton, Reggie Gray, once he figures out how to move like that, he can really be, a heavy, high volume scorer in the NBA.
All the Wizards with rising stars that are being recognized. More in a moment. Head coach Brian Keefe is next on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with the Glenn Console. Hope everybody's warm and plowed out and ready for some Wizards basketball tonight. Our time with head coach Brian Keefe. Hey, 3 rising stars: Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, and Alex Sarr. Just when you hear that, another franchise record, 3 rising stars. I can see the smile on your face.
Yeah, 2 years in a row, 3 guys. Really happy for them. The credit goes to them. All the work that they've put in. But it's really a team thing. Like, great job with our staff on medical and performance supporting that, and then their teammates. You don't do these things alone, but I'm really thrilled for those 3.
And thrilled for Trey Johnson. It comes on the heels of a career high 26 points, but also career high 6 assists. I think about a play, I think it was in the first quarter, just the way he penetrated and found Alex Sarr. That's the part that's exciting with it right now, as we find out what a playmaker he is.
Causes a lot of gravity, just causes crowds because of his ability to shoot and ability to score. Now you're seeing the playmaking ability, and he's improving daily.
Keyshawn George last year didn't make the Rising Star game, and it was right after the All-Star break when he really started to get it and improve. And the type of year that he's having here has to make you feel good. What are you seeing about his development?
Yeah, I think it's just a continuation of all the things that he did last year, and then the massive amount of work that he put in this summer on his body and his game. And I think you're seeing that live out in real time right now, and he's still learning and getting better, but I love where he is on his development track.
Deni Avdija comes in with the Portland Trailblazers. It's not just Deni, but this is a team that likes to get in the paint, a very good offensive rebounding team. And it's not just him hitting the glass. It's the whole team, very good offensive rebounding team. Packing it in has to be important, but what else?
Match their physicality on the boards. They're playing well. It'll be a good challenge tonight.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
That's Brian Keefe. More in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
Are you ready for it?
We certainly are ready. Wizards basketball tonight against the Portland Trailblazers, who have lost 2 in a row after a 4-game winning streak. They're coming off a loss to the Boston Celtics. Last 2 games did not have Deni Avdija. In fact, he had missed 5 of the last 7 with a back injury, but he's very much on the lineup and on the floor tonight for the Portland Trailblazers. In his return to Washington, he has spent 4 years, of course, and was drafted by the Washington Wizards. The Wizards in the home white, the blue horizontal stripe, red numbers, red on the shoulders. The Blazers in black tonight, white lettering, white numbers, and a red and white diagonal stripe down the front of the jerseys. Donovan Clingan wins the tip. It goes back to Deni Avdija. Now working left to right, Drew Holiday comes through the center circle. Blazers on an East Coast trip. Avdija comes off a screen, right elbow, right block, turbo to the basket, but throws back on the wing, bobbling it. Kamara, 8 on the clock. Kamara jab step and step back 3, got it. Toumani Camara christens the game. 3-0 Trailblazers, 11:35 to go, first quarter of play. Coulibaly now through the center circle, cuts to his left. Now Keyshawn George, point between the circles, off a Sarr screen. George, right wing, feeds now. Trey Johnson, right elbow, couple pump fakes. Left elbow Sarr, drives, knocked away. Well, no, went off Alex Sarr. Donovan Clingan, he meant in the restricted arc, but just ball slipped through his hands. 3-0 Blazers, 11:19 to go, first quarter. Holiday out front to Clingan, top of the arc, open for 3, long rebound, comes out to Avdija, foul line, and swing around the left corner, Kamara looking to break down Middleton, gets in the paint, 8-footer, air ball, caught under the basket by Shaedon Sharpe, pass in the lane, through the hands, and Middleton comes up with it. Middleton bounced past the Coulibaly, going for a poster slam, he was fouled, no slam, but Kamara gets called for the foul, and Bilal Coulibaly, as he returns the lineup, will start his night on the free throw line.
Well, you saw that turnover by Portland early this game. Wizards have one as well, except Portland leads the NBA in turnovers. So you can turn them over. Now you want to capitalize on these turnovers. You'll see when they run half-court sets, Drew Holiday will play the point. But in transition, Denny plays the point. So you got 2 point guards out there for Portland.
Why not Denny Avdia on the season, 6.9 assists per game. Both free throws made by Coulibaly, 3-2 Blazers, 10:51 to go, first quarter. Avdia out front comes off a Klingon screen at the hash mark, foul line Klingon. Back out front, Sharp for 3. That's a long rebound. That was Holiday for 3. George a rebound. Middleton to left corner. Middleton goes to drive, backs in left block. Now Sarr, left wing outside the arc for 3. No, misses off the right side of the glass. Avdia gets a rebound. Avdia comes up court. Hash mark on the right wing. Look at a breakdown. Sarr driving, bang, no. Follow Klingon over the shoulder. Left hand on the left side and makes it 5-2 Blazers as Avdia missed the layup, but Donovan Klingon was right there, and that's what he does.
Yes, he does.
This team gets offensive rebounds. Now Trey Johnson right at the top of the key off a Sarr screen. Mid-range jumper is no good. Avdia gets the rebound. 5-2 Blazers, 10:02 to go first quarter. Now out front, Sharp left the circle. Kamara left wing outside the arc. Back to Sharp, hash mark left wing. Look at the breakdown. George step back 3, nothing but net.
That's a good, interesting matchup. We have Keyshawn George on Sharp. Got to be careful with those passes. Almost a turnover. And right now, they got to start playing through Alex Sarr offensively. You get a lot of rhythm when they play through him on that high elbow, Dave. And, and crack some guys on screens.
8-2 Blazers. Sharp almost came up with an interception, but knocked it out of play. Sarr bounced past George. Right elbow, right corner. Middleton open for 3. It's there. It is there. Oh, it rattled around, but went in. 8-5 Blazers. 9:34 to go, first quarter. Holiday, right elbow, driving. Ball fake. Blocked from behind by Trey Johnson. In transition, George. Middleton. George, foul line. Feeds Middleton. Bank and score. 3 passes, 2 points, and the Wizards within 1, 8-7.
2 consecutively beautiful passes by Keyshawn George.
Center circle now. Kamara's pass deflected by Keyshawn George. Goes in the backcourt. Picked up by Kamara. Avdia, top of the arc, couple jab steps. He's going to shoot a 3. Welcome back. Danny Avdia converts the third 3 for the Blazers. 11-7. Blazers on top. And then he played 287 games in a Wizards uniform over 4 seasons. Now driving Johnson in the restricted arc, left corner Middleton, down low left block Coulibaly, right block Alex Sarr, couple pump fake, a double team, and one. A jump hook with the right hand from the right block, and Alex Sarr is going to the free throw line. Chance to make it a 1-point game. 11-9 is our score. Kamara picks up his second.
Just love how physical Alex Sarr has become in a short period of time. That little pump fake, absorbed the contact, went up straight. Alex Sarr, by the way, is now averaging over 15 points a game and over 2.5 blocks a game. The last guy to do that for the Wizards, Purvis Ellison.
Never Purvis.
1993.
Wow.
Long time ago.
That goes back. Louisville Cardinal.
Yes, it was.
Also, I remember 11-10. Blazers, 8:41 to go. And on the center circle, Drew Holiday. Top of the arc. Now leave it behind, but he almost goes into a backcourt violation saved by Sissoko, but it comes to Middleton. Middleton, left wing outside the arc. Middleton, foul line, bounce pass, left restrict arc. Sarr flips up a shot and scores. Alex Sarr scores a 10-3 run for the Wizards. Right wing outside the arc, Sharp, no. And Middleton gets a rebound. 12-11, the Wizards have their first lead. And now a foul by Shaedon Sharp as he knocked down Trey Johnson. So Sharp will get called for the foul. The Wizards' ball is side out on the left sideline.
You want to advance the ball, but you don't want to advance it cross court. That's when danger happens. I like the way the Wizards are passing. 4 assists on 4 field goals made.
George, hash mark left wing, top of the arc, Johnson, back to George, center circle. Holiday pesters in. Middleton at the point between the circles. Looking to go at Avdia, lost the dribble. 10 on the clock. Comes off a Sarr screen, then he bumps into Sarr, lost the ball. Sarr picks it up, 7 on the clock, shoots a 3. Oh, it's there! Broken play fixed. 8-0 Alex Sarr run, 15-11 Wizards. Left wing outside the arc. Avdia, the answer. Another three for the Blazers. That's their fourth three. A one-point game, 15-14 Wizards. Sarr now, top of the key. He's on his own 8-home run right now. Sarr left at the top of the key, leaves it for Coulibaly. Left wing outside the arc, guarded by Sharp. Bounce pass to Sarr in the paint. Couple jab steps, fade, shoots over Klingon, no. And the rebound is brought in by Shaedon Sharp. Sharp now through the center circle, shovels off to Avdia. Avdia left elbow, feeds in left corner. Holiday drives on the baseline, backs into George. Now fades baseline left, off the rim, no. Bounce rebound, Avdia had it, but then stepped on the baseline. Avdia playing with, well, what you might expect, a lot of energy. Again, this always happens when you come back to play your old team. As Justin Chambeni checks in for Chris Middleton.
Denny's got 6 points in 5 minutes. That last defensive play by the Wizards was really nice. Denny loves to go right. That time they made him go left, and he immediately picked up his dribble.
Justin Chambeni, a big part of the comeback on Saturday when the Wizards were down by 18, had a big dunk, made it a 4-point game late. Left wing outside the arc for Sean George. Top of the arc, Sarr, hand off to George. George, back to Sarr, top of the arc. Now Sarr drives, edges in the paint on Klingon, jump hook over Klingon, bank, no. And the rebound comes to Holiday. And now to Avdia. Hash mark in the left wing, followed by Keyshawn George. And we're going to get a timeout, Tiago Splitter, and the Blazers. All right, Wizards 15, Blazers 14. Hey, Kevin and McLean, good to have you on board as always, and hope everybody's staying safe and, well, by all means, staying warm. We're back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. My man, Case the Nation, Alan Cason has it synced up. Watching on television, listening on the radio in Ellicott City, you can do that with your DVR to sync it up. Hey, Adam has found his old alarm clock, listening the old-fashioned way. And Sylvester and Felicia, we trust it's a little warmer in Arizona where you are. We are in ice-encrusted the Washington, D.C. area. In fact, I was thinking yesterday as I went to open my car door, I had trouble. I don't know about the Euclid. I had trouble. It was so high. The snow/ice banks, it was so high I had trouble opening my door. And then finally I got the door open. I stepped outside and realized, wait a minute, I'm on top of an ice mountain. This is great. I'm out of my car. Now what happens? Now do I jump off? And you have a driveway that the Norwegian Olympics modeled their ski jumps after.
I don't even want to discuss how I feel right now, physically and mentally. Right. After shoveling, now I know what hard time feels like. Yep. If you go to jail, you know, you're chipping away at blocks. I was chipping away at ice blocks that were the size of cinder blocks after I chipped away, and then I had to throw them out of the way, and my eyelids hurt right now.
You know, we always say it's not the heat, it's the humidity. It's not the snow, it's the ice. You know, our wonderful engineer, Tim Parker, didn't even say hello to me today. First thing he says, I hurt from head to toe.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah, well, that's how Tim treats me every day, so I'm kind of used to that, actually.
So I hope everybody's, not sore.
That's a good thing if Tim doesn't say hi to you. Because if he did, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Jonathan Morris, our Director of Intelligence, and he's the smart one. He has a staff. All right, 15-14 Wizards. Jeremy Grant is in the game, the son of Harvey Grant. Grant down to the baseline, got inside bank and scored. Got inside both Sarr and Chambeni, and he slithered to the basket. That'll make Harvey Grant proud. 16-15 Blazers. 6:24 to go, first quarter. Coulibaly right in the circle, guarded by Shaedon Sharp. Off a Sarr screen. The wall, back to Sarr, top of the arc. Bring it to the left side. George, top of the key. Goes at Sissoko, just inside the foul line, shoots. No. Sarr deflects the rebound. But it comes out to Caleb Lowe for the Trailblazers. Lowe, right of the lane. Now front Klingon, top of the arc. He's left open for three. Off the rim, no. Justin Chambeni with one hand grabs the rebound. 16-15 Blazers. Keyshawn George, left at the top of the key. Top of the arc, Sarr. Back to George. George, right elbow. Couple pump fakes. Now Coulibaly, hash mark right wing for three. It's there. Oh, pardon me, that was Trey Johnson. 18-16 Wizards. Now up court, Sissoko. Foul line, driving. Ball block. Alex Sarr with the right hand, the swat. That's what he does. That's why he leads the NBA in blocks.
Yeah, he also leads the NBA in defending ISO situations, and that time it was an ISO. Blocked it. He's so quick, takes up so much ground with those long legs of his. Great timing.
Inbound, left corner, Sissoko for three. No. Trey Johnson gets the rebound. 18-16 Wizards in Johnson. Rising star, 26 points, career high on Saturday. Star, top of the arc, couple dribbles, hands off to George. George, step back three. Oh, it's there. And there it is. His 400th career-made field goal for Keyshawn George, and the Wizards go up by 5, 21-16.
Keyshawn, 3 points, 3 assists already.
Shane Sharp into a crowd, keeps driving, bank, and score. Now, Shane Sharp looked like he took on 4 of the 5 Wizards on the floor. 21-18. The Blazers within 3. Almost lost the ball in the crowd, then he found 2 points. Sarr, right wing outside the arc for 3, no. And Shane Sharp the rebound. 21-18 Wizards. Center circle now Sharp. Feeds on the left sideline. Grant for 3. That's off the rim. Rebound Alex Sarr. Almost fell out of play, but he gets the ball to Keyshawn George. George gives to Trey Johnson. Top of the arc. Right elbow going to the basket. High off the glass. No. Sarr grabs it under the basket. A couple pump fakes. Puts it up off the rim. No. Klingon gets a rebound. Klingon harassed by Trey Johnson. Throws. Now to midcourt to Caleb Lowe. Lost the ball. And picking up Champagny. Center circle Trey Johnson. Bounce pass Sarr. In the restrictor. A couple pump fakes. Puts up the shot over Klingon. No. As Klingon defends without fouling. 21-18 Wizards. Through the center circle. On the dribble out front. Jeremy Grant. Grant. Right of the lane. Step back 3 for Jeremy Grant. That's off the back of the iron. Rebound corralled by Keyshawn George. George into the right corner for Bubs Harrington, who's in the game now for the Wizards. Sarr now top of the arc. Behind him, Trey Johnson off a Sarr screen. Johnson drives. Left side of the restrictor. Clips of the shot over Klingon. No. Klingon's had quite a presence down there for the Blazers. Not fouling, but altering shots. 21-18 Wizards. 3:39 to go first. Caleb Lowe. Hash mark of the right wing, guarded by Johnson. Klingon. Top of the foul line. Spins. Top of the restrictor arc. Jump puck. Got it. Donovan Klingon scores. Makes it a 1-point game. 21-20. And a timeout called by the Wizards.
Tell you what, it really looked to me like the last minute to 2 minutes, Alex Sarr got tired. He was defending all over the floor. They kept going to him. He needed a break, and I think he's going to come out now. And Anthony Gill might come in for him, but he needed that break. So active on the defensive end.
We should point out Marvin Bagley is still out with that thoracic injury. So no Bagley, no Vucevic, who's out with a hamstring injury. So short in the center position. Might we see Skal Labissiere?
Yes, we might.
Just called up from the Capital City Go-Go, where he's
also matches up size-wise with Klingon a little bit.
Yes, and he's had a terrific season. Brian Allen shared that with us in our pregame, the Power Hour, as he's averaged close to 20 points a game with the Capital City Go-Go. All right, 3:26 left, first quarter. Chase Hughes is with us tonight. The whole gang is together. It's your basketball get-together on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Good to have you on board on this Tuesday night. And wherever you're listening at Dave J Sports at Glenn Consort. 21-20 Wizards on top of the Portland Trail Blazers. You know the deal. Wizards win is $2.50 Big Mac tomorrow, only on the McDonald's app. And our next home game is presented by Ticketmaster. And we've got some home games. The Milwaukee Bucks. We're going to be honoring John Wall on Thursday night, a John Wall bobblehead giveaway.
I'm getting one of those.
Ticketmaster.com/Wizards. And then Friday, the Lakers come to town. And post-game, it's our Michelob Ultra Caucus get-together at Fuddruckers on 7th Street, just steps from the arena. So even if you can't make it to the game, we'd love to see a post-game at Fuddruckers. Again, this is our second live post-game party of the year, and it's just so much fun to connect with Wizards fans.
One thing we got to watch for here is rebounds. Right now there's a 13-8 advantage. Portland, and that's something that the Wizards really wanted to lock in on. Also 4-1 advantage offensive rebounds.
As you suspected, Anthony Gill is in center circle. Hand off to Carrington. It's broken up. Now driving up toward Ryan Rupert. Bank and score. Ryan Rupert makes it 22-21. A 6-0 Blazers run. Carrington now in the backcourt. In with Anthony Gill, Champagnie, Jameer Watkins, who had 5 steals, 2 blocks on Saturday, and Will Riley. Gill right at the top of the key, guarded by Young Hansen. Now a handoff to Champagnie, broke it up. Now in flight, Avdia slam right in. Spring-loaded, an 8-0 run. Too many turnovers by the Wizards, and suddenly the Blazers up 24-21.
Blazers turning up the heat. They're blowing up. Dribble handoffs on pick and rolls.
Now out front, Carrington at the point between the circles, guarded by Avdia. Comes off a Gill screen, bounce pass Gill in the paint. Behind him, right wing outside the arc. Riley for 3, it's there. Oh, that helps. That ties the game at 24 with 2:26 to go here in the first quarter. Avdia in the center circle, bounce pass. Young Hansen hands off to Avdia. Avdia's pass deflected and tipped and stolen by Jameer Watkins. Champagnie foul line, drives the basket, draws contact, flips up the shot. No, battle for the rebound. And I thought it went off of Hansen, but they're going to say it's Blazers ball. Young Hansen, of course, from China, 16th overall draft pick. Yeah. Played professionally in China. Up court now, Caleb Love. Left the circle, Avdia. Watkins is on him. Avdia to his right, back to his left. Watkins the steal. Center circle. He's alone. He's home. Stuff. 2 hands. That's the Jameer Watkins defense. Back-to-back steals for Jameer. 26-24 Wizards. Now at the point, Avdia, right elbow, and he drives into Anthony Gill to draw the foul.
I happen to like this unit that's on the floor right now. The Wizards are looking to generate some pop defensively. You got Bub Carrington, you got Champagnie on the floor, you got Jameer Watkins on the floor, Anthony Gill and Will Riley. Those guys get after you defensively. They will mix it up.
And side out, they say, Jeremy Grant into Love, right at the circle. Now off the ball, Watkins fouls Denny Avdia. So, Jameer Watkins.
He's not playing around.
No, that's the 15th foul, so Avdia will shoot. But I just love the tenacity which he brings. He really... you can throw him out there as a defensive stopper. He's a disruptor.
Well, you know, Brian Keefe said to him, look, go in there and muck it up with Denny. Get after him. Turn him. Bump him. Doesn't matter. Misses the first one.
Well, why not? Because he has 8 points in 7 minutes in his return to D.C. All right, another free throw coming for Denny Avdia. A minute 36 left in the first quarter. 26-24 Wizards. Sidi Sissoko is in the game. Second free throw made. 26-25. Wizards. Carrington working right to left. Rupert shadowing in the backcourt. Center circle Champagnie. Hash mark on the left wing Riley. Spins off Love, but Love stays with him. Right elbow drive. Spins again. Feeds left wing Champagnie for 3. No. Glances off the right side of the glass. Rupert in transition. Left elbow. Love. Left wing ball fake. Carrington got out to him. Hansen hands off now to Love. Foul line. Couple pump fakes and 2 points. 2 fakes, 2 points, 27-26 Blazers. A minute 3 to go. First quarter, Riley. Right elbow drives on Rupert down to the right block. Cross court, Watkins. Left wing outside the arc for 3. That rims out. Gill battles for the rebound, but couldn't bring it in. Rupert comes up with it for the Blazers. Working left to right, 47 seconds left in the first quarter. 27-26, Portland by 1. Carrington on the perimeter defense. Out front on Caleb Love. Love cuts to his left, driving. Gets in the paint. Flips of the shot. No, but Carrington a foul. And with 32 seconds left, Caleb Love will be going to the line to shoot 2.
Portland, the last 5 minutes of this quarter, they've spaced the Wizards out nicely, opening up the driving lanes for guys to get mid-range shots and putting the Wizards in mano-on-mano type defensive situations.
Love at the free throw line to shoot 2. And he does not make the first one. 27-26 it remains with 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Wizards have Watkins, Gill, Champagnie, Riley, and Carrington. That lineup that Glenn Consor likes. Love's second one is good. All right, 28-26, 32 seconds left in the first quarter of play. Carrington strolls rolls through the center circle. Runner out front. Rupert takes a couple swats at Carrington. Carrington now, they're cutting Gill in the paint. Right corner. Ball fake Watkins. Hangs in the air as he drives. Banks. Rims out. Hansen gets a rebound with 11 seconds left. All right, the shot clock is off. The Blazers can work for the final possession. Now coming up court, Caleb Love drives, gets in the paint, bank, no, battle for the rebound, volleyballed around, and volleyball around as the buzzer sounds. All right, a missed layup by Caleb Love and good defense by the Wizards. And it's a 2-point game at the end of one.
16-8 advantage, Portland on the boards. That's got to change. The Wizards could have like maybe a 6-8 point lead now if that number was somewhat cut in half.
But again, we knew this coming in.
Yes, we did.
This is a Blazers team that gets after it with offensive rebounds, and one of the reasons Donovan Clingan. 28-26 Blazers at the end of one. Hey, Chase Hughes, when we come back, he's not playing tonight, but he's going to be talking about Trae Young on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Hey, Johnson back here with Greg Contour and Chase Hughes. Not playing tonight, but you got so much stuff on Trae Young.
I thought Chase Hughes was playing tonight.
Confusing a little bit, but no, that would not be pretty. So I was looking up some stats on Trae Young, and I found something interesting involving dunks. So first of all, he assists on a lot of them. Trae has the 5th most assists on dunks among all active players with over 1,300 dimes. But on the flip side, he himself has never dunked before in an NBA game, and he's played in almost 500 games. He's second only to Fred VanVleet among active players in terms of games without dunking. So whenever Trae does play, expect a lot of dunks for other players, but none for him.
Wow, I would have lost that. If you said true or false, has Trae Young ever dunked? I would have said that's false, but apparently it's true. All right, Wizards have possession. They missed their first shot, got the rebound. Riley into Gill just inside the foul line. Flips up the shot off the rim and scores. Anthony Gill, 28 all, 11:29 to go. As we talked with Brian Keefe the other night, no other player like him. He can be out of the rotation, gets back in, plays hard, a foul on Young Hansen. So Anthony Gill picks up his second. 11:21 to go, second quarter play. Would you have guessed that? Trae Young has never dunked?
I would have. No, but I
mean, I get it. He's a point guard, but that's a lot of games.
It is a lot of games.
Right of the circle. Holiday, left elbow. Couple pump fakes. Watkins guarding, flips up a shot and scores.
He's also 6'1".
Yeah.
So he's not like, most guys that don't dunk like that, they don't get hurt that much.
Left on top of Anthony Gill, 30-28 Blazers. And Watkins is going to get called for an illegal screen.
And you remember Andre Miller, loved to stay on the ground. He always talked about that with us. Staying on the ground, not leaving his feet, didn't care about dunking, but he could. And we've seen him do it.
Now, up court, hash mark on the right wing, Holiday, double team, bounce pass, or cutting Kamara. His pass deflected by Gill. Can't get Carrington. Now ahead to Watkins, hash mark on the right wing, right corner, Will Riley for 3. It's there. You can tell it when he released it. And the Wizards take the lead, 31-30. 10:44 to go here in the second quarter. Kamara, left elbow, driving on Champagnie. Top of the stick arc, draws contact. Here at the whistle. Champagnie the foul. He missed the shot.
They're getting a lot of shots in the paint.
Wow, 2 technicals.
2?
I think 1 on Champagnie and 1 on Carrington. Champagnie got a foul.
He's second. Technical foul also assessed to Champagnie. And an additional technical foul assessed above Carrington.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right.
So both Champagnie and Carrington.
Same play.
Drew Holiday at the free throw line. Misses. Another one coming for Holiday. See, the basketball gods didn't like that technical. 31-30 Wizards. Now, Drew Holiday makes that one. Now we have free throws. Regular free throws. We're tied at 31. Scott and Courtney have us on 1500 AM, loud and clear, up and down the East Coast. The meat hook, dark meat hook, eating some dinner. Yeah, you can multitask with us. So Tamani Kamara at the line misses the free throw. All right, 31-31. It remains Wizards and Blazers here in the second quarter. Kamara with another one coming. The Blazers are 3 of 7. Wow. Now 3 of 8 as a rebound battle. Gill comes up with it after Carrara misses both. Now Champagnie passed it back, intended for Carrington. Rupert the steal and the stuff.
It's very dangerous to throw it back to a guard, or it doesn't matter, anyone that's going towards the opposing basket. Very, very tough pass.
Easy 2 points for Rupert. Now ball deflected in the back. Well, they're going to call a backcourt violation on Carrington, but I think Rupert deflected in the backcourt.
Anthony Gill running in front of Buck County. You don't want to pick up another technical here. He's been very demonstrative on that play, and I think he's got a point.
No, I think he's right, but it's not worth a technical over him. All right, Rupert on the right sideline just crossed midcourt. Will inbound the ball to Sissoko. Carrington breaks it up. Watkins then gets it past to Carrington, who's broken up. The Blazers get it back. Holiday left at the top of the key. A chaotic sequence right now. Holiday, hash mark left wing. Gill out on the help defense. Hansen down low, spins, jump hook in the lane, in and out and in. As it spins around and in, 35-31. Young Hansen comes up with the 2 points. Blazers lead by 4. Riley, left wing outside the arc. Gill, hands off to Riley, hash mark left wing. And he lost the dribble. But they're going to call a foul on Drew Holiday. Well, that surprised me.
Yeah.
I didn't think Holiday fouled him.
Tell you what, we've seen this game, 17 turnovers already.
Between the two teams,
9:42. That's a lot of turnovers. Wizards have 8. I'm sorry, Wizards have 7, and Portland has 8.
All right, Carrington's inbound to Gill over on the right side, Capital One Arena logo, as he was inbounding it from the left sideline. Left wing Riley, guarded by Rupert, spins, drives, weaves, foul line, denied, bounce pass in the paint to Gill. Gill fades over Hansen, shoots off the back of the iron, no, battle for the rebound, and saving it, Kamara. 35-31 Blazers. On court now, Holiday, left elbow, pass to Rupert, right wing outside the arc for 3, drains it. 38-31, and suddenly the Blazers on an 8-0 run, and they take a 7-point lead on the Wizards with 9:15 to go. It is their biggest lead. So Brian Keefe calls a timeout.
Rupert has really come
On this Tuesday, we're brought to you by Capital One, offering checking and savings accounts with no fees or minimums. What's in your wallet? We appreciate the wonderful support of Capital One. And HelloFresh, nutrition that fits your ambition. Eat like a pro. We're talking Factor. Eat like a pro, and it is nutrition that fits your ambition. And January is Mental Health Awareness Month. We hope you focus on your mental health all year round, but it can make a big impact on your overall wellness. Performing small acts of kindness. One tip for positive change. MedStar Health is how we treat people. And our positive tip for change is kindness, right? Yep. Friday, we're welcoming you to our own party. Our Michelob Ultra Live party post-game at Fuddruckers is going to have specials on wings. It's going to be a lot of fun after the Wizards and Lakers. We hope you join us for that. Our Director of Intelligence, Jonathan Morris, says when we talk point paints in the point, the Blazers have a 38-20 advantage.
20 to 8.
Oh, 20. Yeah, 20 to 8. 20 of their 38 points.
Big delta right now. And that's
I got to learn how to read.
So that's something that we got to watch. 17 to 10 advantage, Portland on the boards.
So 20 points in the paint of the 38. I do know that's more than half. Alex Sarr, left wing, hands off to George. George, left lane, couple pump fakes denied. Sarr, left elbow, hands back off to George. George out front for 3, fading, misses. Tamani Kamara gets a rebound, and then a foul by Justin Champagnie. Actually, just
No foul,
Champagny knocked it out of play. So possession, Blazers, 38-31. No foul on Champagny, just knocked it away. Now driving Sissoko to the basket, knocked loose by Carrington on the left sideline. Goes out of play, baseline left. 8:41 to go, second quarter. 38-31 Blazers. Drew Holiday windbound the ball. Trying to bite Keyshawn George. 15 on the clock. Holiday he's got to get it in. Lob out front. Hansen hash mark left wing. Throws under basket. Intercepted by Carrington and intended for Kamara. Riley gets it. Center circle. Weaves. Right elbow. Long strides. Feeds the lane star. One dribble. Jump hook. Scores. A line drive over Hansen. All 7-2 of Jan Hansen. And Alex Sarr is 10. 38-33.
Love how Sarr
Wizards
drove
trail.
him back with his shoulder.
Kamara in the right corner, guarded by Champagny. Kamara drives. Hansen at the foul line, flips to the shot short off the front of the rim. Alex Sarr gets the rebound. Sarr now on the dribble, top of the arc. Foul line, left corner, Carrington. Out front, George for three. No. Battle for rebound. Hansen tips it, still loose. On the wing, Riley, he didn't save it. He hustled, and he did save it, but he stepped on the sideline. 38-33 Trailblazers. 7:56 to go, second quarter of play. Rupert will inbound the ball for the Blazers. Again, he's been a big spark for them off the bench. Ion Rupert, right of the circle. Love. Right at the top of the key. Foul line driving. Rupert runner right side of the lane. No, missed off the left side of the glass. George takes the rebound from Klingon. George slowing through a Trailblazer crowd. Goes at Rupert. Top of the key. Leaves it for Sarr. Top of the arc for three. Off the back of the iron. No. George tips the rebound. Popcorns back to Rupert after touch Champagny. Popcorn down left wing. Holiday driving down to the baseline under the basket. Throws on the wing. A blind pass. It's a fan in the second row who collected it though, and nothing spilled. 10th turnover for the Blazers.
Trey Johnson in the game now, a little bit of an offensive pop for this team.
Alex Sarr, top of the arc. Wizards trail by 5. Johnson, guarded by Rupert, comes up a Sarr screen, weaves in the paint, denied, left wing outside the arc, Carrington, ball fake, left double. He pulls up, shoots, no, and the rebound belongs to Rupert. 38-33 Blazers. Now up front, Kamara, top of the arc, Holiday off the rim for three, and Champagny the rebound. Blazers get back. Keyshawn George, left the lane, is back to Caleb Love. Backs in on the left block. Back it in, and defensive 3 seconds.
Klingon,
will be called on Donovan Klingon in the Portland Trailblazers. 6:49 to go, second quarter of play. Trey Johnson at the line to shoot the technical for the defensive 3 second.
Really interesting in the shoot around today. Brian Keefe was talking about how Klingon kind of puts himself and posts himself in the middle of the lane and almost like a one-man zone. That time, got his hands caught in the cookie jar. Defensive 3 seconds. Got to get out of there. You got to find a man.
Side out for the Wizards on the left sideline. Keyshawn George to inbound the ball. George, lob from Middleton, who just came in. Bounce pass Sarr to the basket, going for the slam, bang, and score. And one. Klingon the foul. He was going for the slam. He cocked it back. Klingon with the foul prevented the slam. Sarr put it off the glass. Wizards within 2, 38-36.
Boy, Alex Sarr is 5 of 12 from the field. But 3 of those 5 baskets that he has made has been with contact, attacking guys, and that's what you want to see from him. He's going to be a cornerstone for this organization for many years to come. Alex Sarr continues to get better.
Trying to make it a 1-point game, and he does. 38-37. 6-0 Wizards run. That was a strong drive by Sarr. Now Avdia working left to right, guarded by Koulibaly in the center circle. Cuts to his left. The ball stays with him. Top of the arc, Klingon. Hand off Avdia to cutting Klingon. Broken up by Middleton. George gets it. George right of the circle in traffic. Shovels to Middleton. Behind him, but he gets it. Spins the basket. Flips on the shot. Underhand and scores. 39-38. An 8-0 run for the Wizards.
Wow.
What defense, what offense.
Chris Middleton looked like Milwaukee Bucks Chris Middleton on that play.
Out front of the crossover, Sharp for 3, no. Sarr trying to wrestle the rebound from Klingon. He tipped it to Koulibaly. Ropes it up court. Johnson left wing outside the arc for 3. It's there! It's there! 11-0 Wizards run. And the Wizards take a 4-point lead, 42-38. And the Blazers call a timeout.
You know, sometimes the game you got to make the game easy. What they do, advance the ball to Trey, get up a quick shot before the defense gets set. Nailed it.
42-38 Wizards. Hey, Scott and Courtney saying they're stuck listening to the radio because their garage has a huge slab of ice in front of it, so they're not going anywhere soon.
Yeah, tell them I'll be over and help them too.
That's what. Let us know what you're dealing with because, boy, this ice is not good. Back in a moment. 42-38 Wizards on top of the Washington Wizards Radio Network. It is our hashtag radio party together on a Tuesday. Dave Johnson back with Glenn Console. We're brought to you by Capital One, offering checking and savings accounts, no fees or minimums. Hey, the Wizards 3-game flex plans, a perfect way to catch the best matchups from any of the season. Now, each plan includes 3 games of your choice and $30 of monumental money. You can learn more at WashingtonWizards.com/3-game flex plan. And that 3 is spelled out T-H-R-E-E. I had to figure out how to spell 3 as opposed to the number 3. 42-38. Wizards on top of the Blazers. 8 points for the Wizards in basically 43 seconds.
Yeah, and you know, we talked about the advantage, points in the paint that Portland has, 20-14. Well, the Wizards have a 12-4 advantage in fast break points, so I like how they're running, and they have to continue to advance that ball. Don't throw it behind you. Continue to advance it with quick vertical passes up the floor. Look for Trey. He is an offensive engine.
Wizards already 13 points off 12 Blazer turnovers. And Jonathan Morris tells us Blazers have not scored in 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Center circle now. Caleb Love for the Trailblazers. Cuts to his right. Right elbow. Right corner. Jeremy Grant for 3 off the rim. Coulibaly snares a rebound. Had position on Avdia. Working right to left. Trey Johnson left the circle. 11-0 run right now for the Wizards. Johnson probes. Right sideline. Couple pump fakes. Spins. Hands off to Coulibaly. Hash mark on the right wing. 10 on the clock. Behind the back dribble. Lost it. Recovers. Johnson into the circle. 6 on the clock. Trey, stop, start, foul line, Euro step in the paint, flips up the shot and scores. Trey Johnson created something out of nothing. 13-0 run, and the Wizards lead by 6.
Love how he keeps his dribble with those herky-jerky moves. Quick twitch.
Bringing right at the top of the key. Looking for an option. Cutting to the basket. Caleb Love going reverse, and Alex Sarri's third block. Alex said no. Middleton left elbow. Left corner. Coulibaly for 3. It's there. It's there. A 16-0 run. Wizards up 47-38.
Look how successful they've been. Pushing the ball up the floor.
Slinging in the paint. Denied by Middleton. Spins into Sarr. And Middleton knocks it away, but we'll get a foul.
I think it's on Bilal. I think.
It's going to be Middleton.
Middleton? Yeah.
As he slapped it away from Klingon. I guess too much slap in that slap. 47-38. It's a 16-0 run for the Wizards.
Alex Sarr's got 3 block shots. He is just a force in there.
You know what? They're going to challenge this, and I actually thought he's cleanly swiped their way, but
what do we know? You know what? We should have Jonathan Morris kind of track what our percentage is on what we think these calls should be.
I actually thought, and then they go to video review, and we shouldn't be thinking.
I think we're 0 for 40.
No, you know, as my mom always said, don't think it'll get you into trouble. 47-38 Wizards, and I've tried to live up to that. Wizards on top. We're going to step aside for 30 seconds on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. It truly is a joy for all of us, the connection with all of you. Dave Johnson, Glenn Consor back. Wizards basketball on the radio, on the app, however you're finding us. Wizards on a 16-0 run. They lead 47-38. Under review, a foul that was called on Chris Middleton. That I think as he slapped it away from Klingon, I think it was clean. But
what'd your mom say?
She said, don't think.
See?
She really did say that. No call, yes. See? Well, Mom, sometimes you do have to think. 47-38. Wizards a successful challenge so they can continue their 16-0 run. And here's the other part, as we noticed that Chris Middleton was the guy who said, let's challenge it. When a vet says it, the coach is off.
You do it, yeah.
All right, it'll be jump ball center court between Donovan Clingan and Alex Sarr. And Clingan wins it, goes back to Kamara. Now obvious, center circle. Hash mark right wing, Shaden Sharp. Looking to break down George. Fades at the foul line, got it. Well, that's the first basket in a long, long time for the Blazers. 47-40 stops the 16-0 run. Koulibaly now, right of the center circle, guarded by Avdia. Koulibaly cuts to his right, right elbow, feeds left wing Sarr. And up Johnson beyond the arc for three, no. Johnson gets his own rebound, baseline drives, gets under the basket. Right corner, George for three, rims out, playing in the rebound. 47-40 Wizards, 4:18 to go. Grant, right of the lane, Jeremy Grant, out front Avdia. Left elbow, puts it up for Clingan, broken up by Koulibaly as he's trying an alley-oop. More oops. Middleton, foul line. Right corner, George, ball fake, drives, gets in the paint, fades, 12 feet from the basket, off the rim, no. Couldn't get the touch, Avdia the rebound. 3:55 to go. Avdia, foul line, knocks down Keyshawn George. George takes the charge. He was waiting, and he was bracing, and he earns the foul.
And that is KYP, know your personnel. Portland's going to challenge it, but again, you want to make Denny go left, and you want to take away his right hand. The Wizards did that there, took the charge when he was going right, so they played him the right way.
Hey, Dean Norris is wind chill -7 in Frostburg. He's got the Wizards now. The Capitals will drop the puck in Seattle later tonight. And again, I think, well, my mom said don't think, so we'll come back. 47-40 Wizards on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Glenn Consor, 47-40. Wizards on top. Hey, we're just going to pause. 10 seconds. Station identification on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
You're listening to Washington Wizards basketball on WFED Washington and W232DG Sterling. Federal News Network, your home for Wizards basketball.
Well, a successful challenge by the Blazers. So it was a blocking foul on Keyshawn George.
He moved.
As we look at I think why initially I thought it had to be clean because he was in position outside of the restricted arc for a long time.
You know what he did? His slid. His feet were close together. If he would have made himself big, he might have taken the charge.
Instead, Avdia at the line to shoot two.
I thought you were going to ask me what I thought about that.
And you would say,
I don't want to get involved.
I know. We are like an old couple. Avdia misses the free throw. Boy, the Blazers are 3 of 9. You know, the Wizards, that game against the Hornets, really lost the free throw line. That was a frustrating thing about it. The second free throw miss. Battle for the rebound. Koulibaly comes up with it.
It's not bricking for chicken yet.
No. And, you know, by the way, the Hornets are one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest, in the NBA right now. Left elbow, Middleton. Off a Sarr screen. Middleton stops Sarr. Right of the strict arc bank. No. Rebound, Avdia. Here goes a turbo drive. Avdia floats it up sharp, bank, and score. Denny Avdia with the assist, 5-point game.
See what I mean? Denny plays a point when they run.
47-42 Wizards. George cuts to his left. Back up front, Alex Sarr. Open look for three. It's there. Oh, it's there. A game high 16 for Alex Sarr, 50-42. Wizards. Right corner. Kamara bounce pass lane as well. Kick ball. They broke it up. It was, but it was by a kick ball.
Alex, by the way, it could be like a horse game because Clingan is not coming out at all on that three-point line. It's not even close. So he is baiting him to shoot those threes. Now Alex he's 2 of 5 from 3, but they want him to shoot them.
3:10 left in the second quarter. Sharp right sideline. Guarded by George. Out front of the right of the circle. Guarded by Koulibaly. Bounce pass now to Grant. Drives. Gets under the basket. His pass deflected by Sarr and stolen by Sarr. 13th turnover by the Blazers. Right wing outside the arc. George for three. It's there. Oh, it's there. 10-3 for the Wizards. 53-42. Wizards on top. Shaden Sharp, top of the key. Behind him, Kamara for three, and he answers back.
Boy, I'll tell you what, the Wizards really are capitalizing on turnovers. 16 points off 13 turnovers already.
Now Alex Sarr through the center circle, and again, we knew the Blazers, they turned the ball over. This is not a new phenomenon for them. George, foul line, teardrop runner, bank, in and out and in. Keyshawn George gets it to go. The Wizards by 10, 55-45. Ashmark right wing, Kamara, Klingon, top of the arc, hands off Avdia. Avdia cuts to his left, now Kamara right wing, right corner, Grant drives, gets to the restricted arc, bank and score. Jeremy Grant muscled up as he got inside the restricted arc. 55-47 Wizards, 2:08 to go here in the second quarter. George, shadowed by Grant, Ashmark left wing, top of the arc, Alex Sarr. Koulibaly, Capital One Arena logo right side, back to Sarr, he's open for three, like Glenn said, it's there.
Not playing him.
It's there.
It's a horse game.
58-47, Sarr has 19, that's the 11th three for the Wizards.
And Alex got HORS already.
Grant, right corner, misses Klingon, rebound, and we're going to foul on Alex Sarr as he pushed Donovan Klingon. 58-47 the score. So Klingon got the rebound. Alex Sarr gave him a little shove in the back. It'll be side out. It'll be the fourth team foul on the Wizards. Blazers only 2 team fouls. We are getting close to halftime. Chase Hughes will give us some of his thoughts. Also will play Jonathan Morris NBA trivia. Left sideline. Shaden Sharp to inbound the ball. Into Avdia, left the circle. Avdia, center circle. Ashmark right wing, Sharp. George is on in. Sharp, crossover, step back, thrill. Got it. Tough shot. 8-point game.
I'm watching Portland play. I don't think Sharp gets enough touches. He averages 21 points a game. I forget about him because Denny's putting up so many points.
Middleton, foul line. Left corner, Trey Johnson. Guarded by Sharp. Left elbow. Circles to the right baseline. 10 on the clock. Sarr right at the top of the key. Right elbow. Shoots. That's no good. Rebound belongs to Avdia. 1:08 left first half. 58-50 Wizards. Avdia through the center circle. Top of the arc. Top of the key. Stop start. Spins in the lane. Bank no, but a foul by Middleton. As Avdia spun into the paint and drew the foul. It's a 15 foul on the Wizards. That'll be the first on Chris Middleton.
Denny really does a good job of not forcing shots. He's got 9 points already, and it's almost within the flow of the game. He doesn't force anything, knows how to draw fouls. He's got 9.7 rebounds already.
And something the Blazers have not done well. He makes a free throw, 58-51. Again, the Blazers are now 4 of 11.
Then he's 2 of 5
from the free throw line. 59 seconds left in this first half.
Short.
Second one, no. Klingon rebound. Put back, no. Battle for the rebound. Klingon again gets it. Put back, no. Tipped around and finally in.
That's a big dude, man. He's 7'3", 280.
City block, 58-53 Wizards. 6-0 Blazer run. Middleton goes at Avdia. Left block. Left the strict arc. Goes up for a shot. Doesn't get it. Goes over the shoulder. Right hand. Right side. And scores as he went reverse. He would not be denied. 60-53. Avdia. 4-3 off the rim. Long rebound. Behind the back pass by Grant. The Sharp. Ashmark on the left wing. 27 seconds left. First half. Sharp. Looking to break down George. Stop start. Fades. 17-footer left the lane. No. Koulibaly rebound. 20 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Alex Sarr, Donovan Klingon are tangled up. There's going to be no foul.
They've been going at it.
They're going at it. Koulibaly center circle. 10 seconds.
Getting a little salty with the big fellas.
Avdia guarding Koulibaly. Races to his left. Driving. Top of the strict arc. Flips a shot. No. Down for the rebound. And beyond midcourt, Sharp shoots. But he's not a sharp shooter. On that occasion, misses. 60-53 Wizards on top as we reach halftime. All right. Wizards and Blazers.
Chase has something on Keyshawn George, I think.
Well, you're like Nostradamus. I don't know who he played for, but Chase, what do you have on?
He played for Notre Dame, actually.
Chase, what do you got?
Yeah, so a well-rounded first half for Keyshawn George. And when you talk to scouts about him, you often hear praise for how he uses his strength. And we saw him use his off arm to create separation in the first half, and that's sort of become a go-to move for him. Another indication indication of how he's getting stronger is how many and ones he's generating. He's already got 11 and ones this season after recording 7 of them all last season. So he's on pace to double or maybe even triple what he did as a rookie when it comes to and ones.
All right, great stuff as always from Chase Hughes. And you ready for trivia? It's coming up at halftime.
I am.
60-53, Wizards on top of the Blazers. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Johnson back. We get set for the second half. Hey, Lower Alabama has checked in. He says it's 42 degrees there. It's a balmy 42. I'm not sure what it was. 30 degrees on my way into the game. I can only imagine it's dropped. All right, working left to right. Alex Starr hands up to George. Wizards by 7. George gives to Trey Johnson. Hash mark left wing. Top of the arc. Starr hands off to Johnson. Right elbow, right block. Gets on the basket. Bounce pass in the lane. It went off Klingon. Not a kick ball though, so we're not going to set the clock to 14. 7-second shot clock. Left sideline, Keyshawn George at the hash mark to inbound the ball. Bounce pass into Middleton. Baseline left, shoots off the rim, and the rebound comes to Kamara. Good luck by Middleton. Abdia, hash mark on the right wing. Now he blitz him. Top of the arc, Kamara for 3 off the rim, and the ball goes out of play. So, go back to the Wizards. 60-53 Wizards. 11:29 to go in the third quarter. Alex Sarr will bring it up. And we have playmakers at every position on this team, the Wizards. Middleton off the Sarr screen, left lane, back to Sarr, just outside the trigger, jump hook, no, and follows his own miss. 21 for Alex Sarr, 62-53 Wizards. That's 21 against Donovan Klingon. Now Abdia, hands off, Sharp, back to Klingon, spins the basket, stuff. Klingon there got a free pass. Yeah. 62-55, 10:56 to go, third quarter. Left wing George, Sarr, top of the arc, hand up to George off the Sarr screen as Sharp stays with him, back to Sarr for 3. Off the back of the iron, no, long rebound, corralled by Drew Holiday. Holiday left the circle, behind the back dribble, foul line. Right wing Sharp, goes out front of Abdia, ball fake, foul line, driving into the restricted arc, no. Now rebound, Sarr tipped it out on the floor, Abdia gets it, throws it, Kamara left wing for 3, and he got it. Abdia, an assist from the floor, makes it 62-58, a 4-point game.
He got a rebound on the floor and an assist sitting on the floor. That's not easy to do.
Top of the arc, Alex Sarr, very crustacean-like. George, right at the top of the key. Step back 3, no. Missed off the left side. Sarr gets it, spins, jump hook, good. Alex Sarr cleans it up after a bad miss by George. 64-58 Wizards. Sharp denied the 3 by George on the left wing. Abdia, right of the circle. Top of the key, foul line. Right wing, Kamara. Kamara drives down the right block, shoots at the back of the eye. No, George tipped the rebound away from Klingon, but Holiday gets it. His shot no good. George grabs the rebound. George now dribbling up court, right elbow, Euro step, right block, pass on the wing deflected by Holiday. It was intended for Johnson. Abdia, center circle, left corner, Kamara. He will take a 3 and make a 3. 3-point game, and the Wizards call a timeout. 64-61 Wizards.
Keyshawn missed Chris Middleton on the right wing, and it didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. But again, you got to get rid of the basketball when 2 guys are on you. Middleton was open, he missed them.
Hey Matt, good. I was just thinking about you in Sacramento. Unfortunately, Matt says his mom was hospitalized. I hope she's feeling better. We're looking forward to seeing Matt in Sacramento. We will next time, Matt. But please give your mom our best wishes.
Yes.
Hey, Allison Baugh is checking in. Let's rip City. That's what they refer to Portland as. Right now, not exactly ripping, but leading. 64-61 Wizards. We appreciate every connection on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. My friends from Project Life Capital One help me checking your savings accounts with no fees or minimums. What's in your wallet? Hey, Wizards win. We'll get you a $2.50 Big Mac tomorrow, but that's only on the McDonald's app. And maybe you're listening on an app. We certainly have those options. The Odyssey app, the Washington Wizards app, the NBA app, and SiriusXM. If you're not on satellite, you can catch us on our channel, SiriusXM 909. Also in MedStar Health, we're proud the Wizards continue to trust us as their medical team. How we treat the pros, how we treat you. At Star Health, it's how we treat people. All right, Glenn Control, we have a 3-point game here. 64-61. Wizards look to respond to the timeout called by Brian Keefe.
Yeah, I think it's important right now. You know, the turnover factor of this game has been somewhat crazy. Wizards have 8 turnovers this game. Portland has 13. They lead the NBA in team turnovers. So you want to continue to turn them over, but you also got to make good decisions. I think it is if they get rid of the basketball, they're really running well. Get rid of it. Don't hold it.
Coulibaly working right to left. Center circle Middleton. Left wing near the midcourt. Trey Johnson. Bounce past Middleton. Left lane is back to Avdia. 10 on the clock. Middleton holding onto the ball. Out front to Sarr. Foul line drive. Foul the Strickard. Flips up shot short off the front of the rim. And Donovan Clingan gets a rebound. 64-61. Now Avdia. Right at the top of the game. Back to Clingan. He is open from 3. Off the back of the iron. No. Rebound. Ricochets back out to Clingan. Center circle. Right wing Holiday. Right corner Avdia. Back on the right wing. Holiday for 3. No. Alex Sarr chases down the rebound. 8:51 to go. Third quarter of play. Middleton. Hash mark on the right wing. Left to the top of the key. It's Sarr to Coulibaly. Back to Sarr just inside the foul line. Jump hook in and out. Coulibaly battles for the rebound. Almost got it, but Sharp got it instead. Then Coulibaly steals it from Sharp. Coulibaly gives to Johnson. Center circle. Johnson edge of the circle for 3. It's there. Oh, Trey from deep. 67-61. His third 3. Sharp goes to Middleton. Left to Strickard. No foul. By Clingan is good. A double-double for Donovan Clingan. 67-63. Wizards. Hash mark on the right wing to Sean George. Trey Johnson, the left wing, guarded by Avdia. Looking to break down Avdia. Comes on the Sarr screen. Wheels in the paint. Feeds Middleton, left wing. Goes at Kamara. 9 on the clock. Couple pump fakes. Baseline left. No and 1. But he draws a foul on that 17-footer. So Middleton is going to the free throw line. Tamani Kamara gets his third personal foul. That'll be the first team foul on the Blazers.
Donovan Clingan has 13 rebounds this game. Alex Sarr is doing a number on him. He's got 23 points on 9 of 21 shooting, but Clingan is just dominating the glass. 10 points and 13 rebounds. It's 0 for 3 from 3.
8 offensive rebounds for Donovan Clingan, and then Clingan averages 4.4 offensive rebounds. So Donovan Clingan's doing what he does tonight, and that's where the Blazers, Glenn, as you know, as you've talked about, they've got the big advantage on the boards right now.
40-24 advantage. That is significant.
Middleton makes both 63. 6-point lead. Left corner, Kamara for 3 off the rim. No. Oh, the foul, offensive interference. So either Sharp or Clingan touched it. I think it was Sharp.
I think Sharp. It looked like he was dropped from the ceiling when he came down with that offensive rebound.
69-63. Stays a 6-point Wizard lead. Left wing Middleton. Off a Sarr screen out front for 3. Draws a foul. It's going to be on the floor, though. It'll be the second team foul. Kenny Avdia trying to fight off the Sarr screen, gets called for the foul. Left sideline, George. Lob in the paint. No one knocked loose by Sharp. Comes out to Sarr, top of the arc for 3. Rims out. Then Middleton knocks it away from Avdia, who got the rebound, but Middleton gets called for the foul. That was just a strange sequence.
Yes, it was.
George lobbed it into the paint, and Shaedon Sharp, he was so surprised, he didn't grab it. Now driving Avdia, the basket underhand, no. Tipped by Clingan, yes.
Another rebound and another bucket. He's there cleaning everything up.
And that was a turbo drive. 69-65. Wizards. Sarr hands off to Middleton. Middleton off the Sarr screen. Left the foul line, rises, shoots, scores. Chris Middleton gives the Wizards a 6-point breathing room back. He's got 13. Kamara, left elbow, goes in Middleton. Euro step in between 2 defenders, banks and scores. He went between Sarr and Middleton and makes it 71-67. George, right block, bank, no. Sarr grabs a rebound but can't bring it in and lost it out of play. 7:07 to go here.
See, right now, this is the way Portland wants to play. They want to go downhill. They're attacking the paint, and there it is again. Denny going downhill. No call. Good defense.
Now George, center circle. Left corner, Trey Johnson. Catch and shoot for 3 off the back of the iron. No. Rebound, Coulibaly. Foul line to Middleton. Back to Johnson. Into the left corner. He will take another 3. It's there. 67.
Shooters shoot.
Sharp shoots, and he scores. A three. A three-point game, 73-70. Back and forth we go. Wizards lead. Center circle, Alex Sarr. Sarr, top of the arc. Bounce pass to Trey Johnson, broken up by Kamar. Johnson gets it back on the left sideline. Foul line. Behind him, Sarr, top of the arc, open for three. Off the back of the iron, no. Rebound deflected by Kamar to Avdia. 3-point game, 6:18 left, third quarter. Avdia, center circle, guarded by Coulibaly. Looking to break him down. Behind the back dribble, foul line, gets in the paint. Underhand, blocked by Coulibaly. Ricochets out to Holiday. Holiday, right elbow, spins, top of the restrictor arc, gets under the basket, bank, and score.
Downhill.
Drew Holiday just skated into the restricted arc, makes it a 1-point game, 73-72.
Portland is strong. They're fast. They get downhill to the rim. The whole team does.
Sarr goes to Klingon. Klingon blocks it. Comes out to Johnson. Middleton drives. Bobbles the ball. Runner in the lane. Good. Chris Middleton, 10 feet from the basket. 75-72. The Trailblazers take a timeout. The Wizards hanging on to the lead.
Safe to say, Dave, this is the best Chris Middleton has played in a long, long time. He looks bouncy. He looks rested. He looks athletic. And he looks like the old Chris Middleton.
And that might be the key. He's been dealing with foot soreness, a knee injury, and he looks like the old Chris Middleton, as you mentioned. 15 points. Hey, Trevor, you're getting a workout in. Yeah, that's good. See, we'll keep you healthy. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with you, England Consul. Chase Hughes is with us. Our engineer Tim Parker, Director of Intelligence. Jonathan Morris, and of course, Brian Albert in control of everything. Chris Wright's going to join us on the Michelob Ultra postgame show. It is your Wizards radio broadcast team.
You forgot me in that team.
No,
you did mention?
No, you were the first person.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
See,
got a big crew.
We do have a big crew. It's all coming out of Tim Sauer. The Wizards tip off their marquee matchup series presented by Sprite. You listening? When they host the Lakers on Friday. This is a Friday night matchup we want you to see. We want you to be here for several reasons. You can get your tickets at WashingtonWizards.com. And after the game, join us for a Michelob Ultra Live post-game party. It's at Fuddruckers, just 5 minutes away from the arena here, Capital One Arena on 7th Street. And again, it's just a lot of fun. We had about 60 to 70 people last time. Get together with Wizards fans of all ages. 75-72. What do you think the discussion point in the Wizards timeout was?
Defensive rebounds. You got to keep this team off the offensive boards. They got 17 offensive rebounds compared to the Wizards' 8. Donovan Klingon has 9 of them. And that is a big number. You got to keep him off the glass.
The most the Wizards have allowed to an individual this season. Offensive rebounds. Sharp out front. Look at it right there. Carrington, left elbow. Left the arc, and a foul by Bub Carrington. Skull Labissiere is in for the Wizards. So this is what we talked about as Carrington gets called for the foul. At the Capital City Go-Go, he averaged 19 points a game, 2.8 blocks for the Go-Go's, and he can make for the Go-Go, and he can make threes.
Brian Keefe was talking about his ability to score, too. You know, he's a good shooter, big guy that could extend defenses. He's athletic.
Of course, Brian Albin does a wonderful job on Capital City Go-Go play-by-play, which you can find on the Monumental Sports Network.
Still waiting for that autograph. It hasn't come yet. Maybe in April.
75-74. Both free throws made by Shaden Sharp. A 1-point Wizard lead. Now left the circle, Carrington. Guarded by Caleb Love. Deflected by Love, and he will not get it as it trickles out of play on the sideline. So it'll be Wizards ball just across midcourt on the right sideline, working left to right. So Labissiere is in. He played for the Chicago Bulls. Brian Albert talked about this. He's a guy that's looking for a chance to get back in the NBA. Labissiere out front, top of the arc, left to top of the E. Left wing George for 3 off the rim. No, George gets his own rebound, then loses it, then recovers. Left corner, 13 on the clock. Guarded by Kamara. George off Labissiere screen, gets the baseline, edges in the paint. Bad angle onto the basket and fades baseline left. No. And the rebound is brought in by Jeremy Grant.
That was a really nice screen, though, by Labissiere.
Grant, right sideline, out front. Johnson, bounce pass, cutting Caleb Love, the basket, bang. No, missed the layup. He got right there. Labissiere on the rebound. Center circle, Carrington. Floats it over to Johnson. Left elbow. His teardrop run in the lane is short. Caught by Champagny under the basket. Now center circle, Carrington. Off of Labissiere's screen. Top of the arc for three. Off the back of the iron, no. Stays 75-74 Wizards. Blazers get the rebound. Kamara left his circle. Now Kamara hash mark. Young Hansen hands off. Right elbow. To cutting, banking, and scoring. Shaden Sharp. And the Blazers get the lead back. They've been coming 76-75.
And the Wizards have gotten away from the fast break transition, up-tempo this thing.
Johnson, right elbow. Leans in, banks, and scores in the restricted arc on Hansen. He drew contact as he went strong to the basket, 77-76.
He's a three-way scorer. He can take you in, mid-range, and three.
Center circle now, Shaden Sharp for the Blazers. Cuts to his left. Top of the arc, Hansen for three. Off the back of the iron, no. Long rebound. Collected by Trey Johnson. 77-76 Wizards. Johnson off a Labissiere screen. Right of the foul line. Rises, shoots, scores!
Take over, Trey.
Scores! Trey Johnson has 18, 79-76 Wizards.
They got no answer for Trey Johnson right now.
Shaden Sharp probes. Shadow by Johnson. Fouled from behind by Trey Johnson. So for the Wizards, that's going to be their third team foul. It'll be on the floor. He's signed out for the Blazers. So Trey Johnson and George go out. Jamir Watkins and Will Riley come in. Wizards lead by 3, 79-76, with 3:27 left here in the third quarter. Shaden Sharp to inbound the ball left sideline, guarded by Jamir Watkins. Into Caleb Love, left the circle off a Hansen screen. Right elbow crossover, step back inside the arc, shoots, no. Hansen to tip, no. Second effort, yes. Young Hansen would not be denied, 79-78, back to a one-point game.
More offensive rebounds.
Carrington, right of the circle. Labissiere for three. It's off the back of the iron. And rebound, brought in by Jeremy Grant. 1 point Wizard lead. Grant goes at Justin Champagny. Right elbow, right block. Draws contact, banks, and scores. He went right into the chest of Labissiere on the right side of the restricted arc. Blazers get the lead back 80-79. Carrington off the Labissiere screen. Right elbow, right block. Bank, no. Rebound battle brought in by Caleb Love. Love working right to left. Blazers by one. Love is going to take a three out front. It's off the rim. Long rebound. Love gets it back. Drives to the basket. Goes reverse. Banks and scores. A 6-0 Blazer run. A timeout by the Wizards. The Blazers up by 3, 82-79.
That was a long three. And nobody stepped in. No one blocked out the shooter. No one is picking up long rebounds. Brian Keefe wants to talk that over and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, indeed. It's rebounding that's really helped the Blazers be effective tonight, as they probably turned it over too many times. 15 turnovers leading to 19 Wizard points, but a 51-30 advantage on the boards. We're going to step away for 30 seconds, but come back on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Glenn Cotsworth. 79-72. Ed Chase Hughes will join us in between the third and fourth quarter. All right, the Blazers up by 3. Again, that points in the paint, a plus 20 advantage for the Blazers. Basically plus 20 on the boards as well. Champagny into Labissiere. Left the circle. Again, just signed to a 10-day from the go-go. Labissiere on the dribble. Hash mark left wing. Right of the circle, Justin Champagny. 14 on the clock. Champagny hands off to Carrington. Crossover. Trying to shake loop pair. Takes a three off the rim. No. And the rebound. Jeremy Grant. 82-79 Blazers. Grant, left elbow, drives on Riley. Underhand bank. No. Battle for the rebound. Hansen gets it, but he's fouled. Let's see who's going to get called for the foul there. Skal Labissiere gets called for the foul.
Boy, the offensive rebounding has been so dramatic in this game against the Wizards. They just can't keep them off the offensive glass. These second chances. That was a second chance free throw. Got himself in the right spot at the right time. Didn't box out.
Young Hansen, again, 16th overall pick from China. Played professionally with the Chinese Basketball Association. And no surprise, he's on some Chinese media here tonight. 83-79. Of course, Washington is home for media from all around the world. So it's always an easy opportunity.
He's only 20 years old.
84-79. 8-0 Blazer run. Center circle Carrington. Off a Watkins screen. Back to Watkins. Left elbow. Feeds under the basket. Champagnie going reverse. And a foul. Justin Champagnie making one of those baseline cuts that he often does. So Young Hansen gets called for the foul.
This game has to, from the Wizards' standpoint, has to come down to some basics on the boards. That you can't follow the flight of the ball on defensive rebounds. You just got to lay a body on guys and push them out of the paint. Then go after it. Option B is to go after the ball. Option A will get guys out of the paint because right now it's an issue.
Champagnie's yet to score tonight. He's only taken 2 shots from the field, and he just missed the free throw. 84-79 Blazers. A minute 56 left in the third quarter here at Capital One Arena. Champagnie's second is good. All right, it's a 4-point game. Blazers working right to left. Shaden Sharp will bring it up court through the center circle, guarded by Carrington. Carrington pokes at him. Now spins to his right off a Hansen screen. In the right corner, driving Grant. Hansen right elbow. Hansen spins, top of the trick guard. Jump up, no. Good defense by Watkins on Hansen. Left of the circle, Riley. Watkins against the taller Hansen. Riley left elbow. Feet Champagnie baseline. Gets in the paint. Out front Carrington for 3. It's there. An extra pass. An extra point. A 3-pointer. Bub's first 3. 1-point game, 84-83.
Nice Champagnie touching the paint, kicking it out.
And a block by Malachi Branham on Love. But it's going to be a foul on Malachi Branham. So Caleb Love will go to the free throw line. A minute 17 left here in the third quarter. So Love to shoot 2. 84-83. The Blazers on top. Blazers trying to stop a 2-game losing streak after they had a 4-game winning streak. As all the free throw spun around but didn't go in. Sidy Cissoko comes in, replaces Young Hansen. Denny Avdia is also back in, replacing Shaden Sharp. In his return to Washington, Denny, I think it's been kind of underwhelming. 3 of 9, 10 points.
Yeah, well,
and I don't say that with any disrespect.
Well, he's coming back from that back injury too. He's been out for 2 games.
Free throw made by Caleb Love, 85-83. It's just not a game representative of the kind of season he's having. Now center circle, Carrington cuts to his right. Hash mark on the right wing. Carrington on the right sideline. Branham takes 1 dribble, takes a 3. It's there. As Caleb Love flew by, Branham shot it, and the Wizards lead 86-85. Avdia right in the circle, guarded by Watkins. Avdia attacks Watkins, feeds foul line Grant. Grant drives, throws left wing, Rupert. Rupert guarded by Branham. 10 on the clock. Avdia out front, guarded by Riley. Step back 3. Air ball caught by Watkins underneath. Riley really got in the face of Avdia. 86-85 Wizards, 39 seconds left. Riley, hash mark right wing, those long strides, falls down on the floor, throws the ball to the foul line, picked up by Rupert on the floor, ahead to Love to the basket, bank, no foul, yes, by Avdia. 87-86 Blazers, 25 seconds left. Blazers get a delay of game warning. Well, we've seen some good passes from the floor. Avdia was on the floor at Rupert tonight. Carrington now center circle, guarded by Caleb Love. Love is pesky and poking at him. There's a 2-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Shot clock down to 10. Carrington is in the center circle. 7 seconds. Cuts to his left. Picked up now by Grant. 4 seconds. Step back 3. No, misses badly. Battle for rebound. Kept alive. Getting it Watkins. And his shot is short. And the Wizards will be short coming out of the third quarter here. The Blizzard down by 1. Hey, my friends, we got a tight ball game going to the fourth quarter here in Washington. Hope you come back. 87-86. Blazers on top of the Wizards at the end of 3 on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Here we go. Fourth quarter on the way. 1-point game. Blazers 87. Wizards 86. 23 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. You can probably guess who Chase Hughes is talking about.
Yeah, that's that's Alex Sarr. So, Dave, earlier I told you how Trae Young gets a lot of assists on dunks. Well, one guy who should benefit from that is Alex Sarr. Now, Sarr is already top 25 in the league in total dunks, but they still account for a relatively low percentage of his shot attempts. And if you compare Sarr's numbers on alley-oops this season, Clint Capella was throwing down about 6 or 7 times as many of them during his prime a few years ago alongside Trae Young. So in short, Alex should probably expect a few more lobs to come his way once Trae Young starts playing.
Yeah. And we think
Look at his chops. Look at his chops.
After the All-Star break, we expect Trae Young sometime. Aldia coming up court for the Blazers. We start the fourth quarter in the center circle, guarded by Watkins. Aldia on the dribble. Watkins stays with him. Aldia stop start into Watkins. Feet under the basket. Clinging. And a reverse layup blocked by Alex Sarr. Oh, and then a battle for the ball. It comes off the Wizards, but Sarr just got his fourth block, I believe. 87-86 Blazers. And that's been confirmed by Jonathan Morris. That's good. I thought I saw it. Sissoko to inbound the ball right sideline in front of the Wizards bench. 14 on the clock. Out front to Kamara, right of the circle. Kamara, right wing, top of the arc, Abdia. Abdia drives on Sarr, right block on the basket, feet clinging and knocked loose by Watkins, but that time you hear a foul. You hear a whistle. And maybe you hear a foul, too.
We continue to see Denny Abdia go right, attack right, and he's not forcing anything tonight, Denny. They're doubling him and leaving Klingon open inside. It's the second time he's done that consecutively on drives, looking to drop a dime off to Klingon. Gotta make him go left. He'll pick his dribble up.
Klingon makes the free throw. 88-86 Blazers. Klingon 13 points, 14 rebounds. Jameel Watkins just picked up his third foul, but again, the way he just feisty. Has 2 steals tonight. He had 5 steals and 2 blocks, did Watkins on Saturday against the Hornets. 89-86. Rupert guarding Carrington in the backcourt. Wizards working left to right. Carrington right of the center circle. Off the Sarr screen. Poke loose from behind by Rupert. Comes to Klingon. And now out the center circle. Sissoko left elbow. Feeds to cutting Rupert. And he double dribbled.
Yeah.
He traveled. He did something illegal under the basket.
There were like 3 violations on that one drive.
It just didn't look good.
No.
89-86 Blazers. 11-17 to go fourth quarter. Into Carrington in the backcourt for the Wizards. Carrington, center circle. Off the Sarr screen, back to Sarr at the point. Alex on the left wing, bounce pass George, back to Sarr. Weaves in the lane, couple pump fakes, puts up a shot, no. Second effort, no. Volleyballed around, still loose. Finally, Abdia comes up with it, and we'll have a kick ball of Krishan George. Well, Alex Sarr not afraid to go at Klingon. No. He didn't make that shot, but the idea was there. 10:58 to go. We just start this fourth quarter. Driving, pull over. Driveway, stay there. You know that. Abdia, center circle, 89-86 Blazers. Abdia, Capital One Arena logo on the right side. Goes at Sarr, driving, right of the strict arc. Left wing, Kamara. Out front, Rupert for 3. Got it. 92-86. The Blazers take a 6-point lead. A 7-0 Blazers run. And the Blazers' biggest lead, 7 tonight. Wizards' biggest lead, 11. It's been a tight game. George off a Sarr screen, down to the baseline, right fades. No, off the rim. Boy, that's a good look. Abdia the rebound. Watkins in the backcourt harassing. Abdia left elbow, foul line. Right wing, Sissoko for 3, air ball. Caught by Klingon. Now knocked loose by George. Klingon battles. He's triple teamed. Now finally do we have a jump ball?
Finally.
As you had George, Sarr, and Watkins just swarming on Klingon.
Boy, Denny has done a real good job the last 3-4 minutes with Jrue Holiday out of the game, playing point, creating. 30 games this year he has played point. 30. So there's been a lot on his plate this season, and he has met the challenge. Yep.
All right, this jump ball at the Blazers offensive end. Klingon awkwardly wins it, now chases after it. And we're going to have a loose ball foul on Klingon in his zeal to get that ball. Let's let's face it. No, they're going to call it on Sissoko. Okay, that's a first-team foul. Jump balls remain the most awkward thing in the NBA. A game of such grace.
You need to go down there and show them how to toss that ball up. You've been talking about it for a while.
Right on the circle, Koulibaly.
You're accurate.
Right on the top of East Sarr. Hands off to George. Off the Sarr screen. George, foul line, denied. Passes behind him. No one there, but Carrington gets there and grabs it. Almost a turnover. Carrington off the screen by Sarr for three. Oh, it's there. Up to the rescue. 92-89, the shot clock was going down.
Broken play.
And it almost looked like the Wizards were going down. Aldia, hash mark on the right wing. Goes at Koulibaly. Poked at by Koulibaly. Foul line, spins. Underhand scoop shot, right block, good.
What did he do?
Went right. 94-89. Koulibaly left the circle. Shadow behind by Rupert. Shovels the Sarr. Spins. Top of the stick guard. Oh, just short at the front of the rim over Klingon. 94-89. Blazers by 5. 9:13 to go. Avdia bounce past Klingon. Foul line. Drives to the basket. Blocked by Alex Sarr. Oh, his fifth block. Center circle now. Carrington shovels to Johnson. Broken up by Sissoko. And then Sissoko lost it out of play. Sarr with his fifth block, my friends. 94-89 Blazers. 9 minutes to go, fourth quarter.
He's been his motor tonight has been terrific. Alex Sarr just continues to get back on defense, helping out everybody.
Carrington into Alex Sarr at the point. Sarr, top of the key, bounce pass to Johnson. Johnson, back to Sarr. Goes at Klingon, bangs, spins, fades just outside the strict arc, and one! Alex Sarr. He made the move, the spin. 94-91, a chance to make it a 2-point game, and Alex Sarr now with 25 points.
7 rebounds and 5 block shots. You know, he's 10 of 27. I like the way he's playing. I don't care about his missed shots. Maybe he can cut down on a couple of threes because they're baiting him, but look how effective he is when he gets himself in the paint.
And he goes to the line to shoot one. 94-91 Blazers. Wizards now have Middleton, Carrington, Sarr, Koulibaly, and George. Kamara, Klingon, Jeremy Grant, Sharp, and Rupert in the game for the Blazers. Alex Sarr, free throw, in and out. Klingon the rebound. 94-91. Now Koulibaly steals in the backcourt. Now to George, a deep three. Oh, it's there! It's there! Koulibaly steal, George three, and we're tied at 94. Center circle down. Jeremy Grant. Cuts to his right. Grant. Stop start. Spins at the right elbow. Blazers working right to left. Top of the arc. Grant. Grant goes at George off 1 foot fake space on left. No. Middleton the rebound. Tied at 94 we are. Middleton. The right wing. Feeds Sarr. Foul line. Drive. Shoves a Koulibaly. Wasn't ready for it. Went to his hands. Rupert gets it. That was a tough pass. That
Drew
close.
behind him.
Yep. Center circle Sharp. Knocked loose by Sarr. Sarr the steal. Sarr at the elbow, Euro step to the basket, and he's fouled by Rupert. All right, credit Rupert for getting back.
Yes.
Otherwise, Sarr was going to bring the house down.
That was a great defensive play because he sprinted back. Alex had a couple steps on him. But Alex did the right thing. He slowed himself down. He decelerated to draw the foul.
Now he has to make the free throws. Alex Sarr is 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight. All right, Glenn, that's 19 turnovers that have led so far to 25 Wizards points. That's quite frankly a recipe for a win, but we have 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Alex Sarr looking to add to his 27-point night, and he does. Makes it 95-94. Pardon me, to his 25-point night, which makes it 26. I guess I was, what is that called? Foreshadowing? That I was foreshadowing his made free throws. It's a literary technique, I think. Sarr makes both. Say I was foreshadowing. 7-0 Wizards run, 96-94 Wizards. Center circle now. Drew Holiday for the Blazers, working right to left. Holiday at the point, cuts to his left. By Middleton out front. Holiday Holiday will step back, take a three. No. Saw the rebound, then stolen by Kamara. Loose ball on the floor. George gets it.
I thought that was a foul.
George working left to right. Kamara staying with him. George lost him, then loses the ball on the floor. Feeds to Middleton on the right wing. 11 on the clock. Middleton over to George. Or George had to reach for that pass. 6 on the clock. George, 4 on the clock. Spins. Foul line. And we have George losing the ball. The Blazers knocking it loose.
Keyshawn just got a tee. Yep.
On Keyshawn George, 1.5 seconds on the shot clock. It was off the Blazers. I think George was campaigning for a foul. That's a strange thing tonight. Glenn, third Wizard technical.
Yep.
And, of course, they're usually not a team that gets in that kind of trouble. In fact, the other two technicals came on one play. Champagny and Carrington got it. Jrue Holiday at the free throw line. This is the free throw. 96-94.
Unreal.
So the Blazers have missed 10 free throws. So it's going to be Wizards ball on the baseline, but they put the shot clock to 14. It was at 1.5 seconds. It was not a missed shot off the rebound, so they should adjust this. Yeah, it should be 1.5 seconds. It was knocked loose. I did not see the Blazer play it knocked loose.
I agree.
I mean, we'll take the 14 seconds. The Wizards gladly will, but that's... The shot clock was showing 1.5 seconds left.
Brian Keefe is over there with Zach Zarbroz by the scorers table. I think it's 1.4 that should be on there. Yeah, there it is.
I thought it was 1.5. Carrington, baseline right, inbound the ball. So cutting Star through his hands, coming out of the Sharp off to the races, to the basket, bank and score. Well, that didn't work out well. 96 all, 7:14 to go. Fourth quarter. Left the circle, Coulibaly. Bounce pass Sar. Left the foul line. Shovel to Middleton. Middleton down the left corner, inside the arc, shoots, misses. Sar the rebound. Sar under the basket, throws out from Coulibaly. Right of the circle, Johnson. Right corner, Carrington for three, off the rim. No. Rebound, Rupert. Tied at 96. Well, Carrington almost a steal, but Kamara gets it to Sharp in the center circle. 6:48 to go in the fourth. Capital One Arena logo right side. Sharp, crossover, step back three, got it. Shaedon Sharp has 24, a quiet 24.
Yes.
99-96 Blazers. Now front on the left side, Coulibaly. Bounce past the Sar. Top of the arc. Hands off to Middleton. Middleton, behind the back dribble. Couple pump fakes. Weaves under Jeremy Grant. Underhand scoop shot, scores. As Middleton finds a way to 17. A one-point game, 99-98 Blazers.
Such a vet move. Pump fake, step through.
Left the circle, Jeremy Grant. 10 on the clock. Grant cuts to his right. On the dribble out front, bounce pass. Right corner, Holiday drives, baseline, gets from his 15 seats. Left lane, Kamara. Out front, top of the arc, Sharp for three. Off the rim, no. Battle three by Coulibaly. Steals it away from Holiday. Head to Middleton. Wizards down by one. Middleton, right wing outside the arc for three. Too strong at the back of the iron. Kamara the rebound.
It was too quick.
5:45 to go. Blazers by one. Holiday, right elbow. Spins. Top of their strict arc. Underhand scoop shot. Bounce around, no. Alex Sarr battling for the rebound. Then knocked away by Sharp. And so it's going to be Sarr's ball. And Wizards ball. So the Wizards will call a timeout. What do you think, gang, at Dave J Sports? At Glenn Consort, keep checking in. 5:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Adam is loving the intensity of this team. And the Wizards, a chance, maybe, to stop this losing streak. Backing them up on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Glenn Consort. Hey, we're just going to pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Wizards, Washington Wizards Radio Network.
You're listening to Washington Wizards basketball on WFED Washington and W232DG Sterling. Federal News Network, your home for Wizards basketball.
Wizards trying to stop a 9-game losing streak tonight. The last win was a home game against Orlando, and that was actually before the trade for Trae Young. So you got to go back to that point. Hey, it's time for Steam Fitters Uzak. Brought to you by Steam Fitters UA Local 602, providing the best mechanical services and process piping systems. Alex Sarr tonight has 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 5 block shots on 10 of 27 from the field. Fair to say, he's hot tonight. And, you know, for the Blazers, Shaedon Sharpe is 9 of 14. He's come up with 24 points.
He's had a terrific year, Shaedon Sharpe, you know, and obviously Denny Avdia is putting up all-star type numbers, 26 a game, but Shaedon Sharpe is averaging 21 points a game, and you can't forget him because he can make threes and he's explosive. He's a high-rising, bouncy guy.
Robinhood brings you all the official numbers, the official brokerage, and Jersey Patch sponsor of the Washington Wizards. One number, the Blazers 62 to 39 advantage on the boards, but Glenn Kotzer, I think the Wizards may only countered that with 27 points off 19 Blazer turnovers. Yep. All right, Wizards ball. Down by 1, 5:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Love Carrington, Alex Sarr, Trey Johnson, Middleton, and Keyshawn George, your starters for the Wizards are in. Carrington, center circle. Got by Shaedon Sharpe. Bounce pass to Middleton. Ashmark left wing. Drives to his left. Left side of the lane. Couple pump fakes. Bounce pass to Sarr. It's broken up by Klingon. A tight pass. Now in transition, Kamara. Shaedon Sharpe, right corner. Brought by Carrington. Kamara, or rather Sharpe. Jab step fades. Right wing. No. Long rebound. Tipped by Kamara into the center circle. Center circle, it's Drew Holiday, 10 on the clock.
Offensive rebounds.
Now to cutting Kamara, slapped away by Carrington. Goes out of play. 6 seconds on the shot clock. 4:59 to go in the fourth quarter. The Blazers by 1.
You wonder if Bilal's got a minute restriction on him because he's on the bench. He started the game.
Left wing now off the inbound to Grant for 3. No. Rebound secured by Keyshawn George. 99-98. Blazers. Middleton. Run by Shaedon Sharpe. Left elbow. Spins. Left block. Floats it up bank. No. Follow slam. Alex Sarr. He's got a double-double. 29 points, 10 rebounds. Wizards by 1, 100-99.
And 5 blocks. He's been dominant.
Center circle now. Sharpe left elbow drive. He left the stretch arc. No, but a foul. A blocking foul. So Sharpe will go to the line to shoot 2. That'll be the, I think, second team foul for the Wizards. And Trey Johnson gets called for the blocking foul. 199. 4:30 to go in this fourth quarter at Capital One Arena. As our friend in Alabama points out, it's 35 degrees down there now, and he's also cautioning stop taking unnecessary threes. 100 free throws made. Hey, Jeff is listing in Aruba.
That's shocking. I'm surprised about that.
79 degrees. Boy, just like to think about that. 101-100. Sharpe has the last 7 Blazer points.
I wonder how those adoption papers are coming. Jeff's family.
Carrington, center circle. Started by Sharpe, cuts to his right of a George screen. Now from Johnson, 10 on the clock. Left wing Sarr. Sarr, top of the key to Middleton. Middleton trying to work off a Sarr screen, but Avdia stays with him. Middleton, 19-footer off the rim, no. And a rebound, Klingon, big rebound. Of course, he's had 18 rebounds. Wow. Sharpe comes up court. Ashmark right wing, stop, start. Right of the lane, 15-footer, no. Rebound, Klingon grabs it. Out front of Avdia, more second chance points. He a 3. A 3 for Denny Avdia, 104-100 Blazers.
As much as Alex Sarr's been dominant this game, so has Klingon. On the boards, he's been a monster.
3:40 to go. And now we have a whistle. It should be on the Blazers, but 19 rebounds.
19 rebounds. And he's got, listen to this, he's got 19 rebounds. 12 of them are offensive.
Now Shaedon Sharpe gets called for the foul. Right sideline, Carrington. That'll be the 14th foul on the Blazers. So that's significant. Right wing, Carrington. Of a Sarr screen. Right elbow rises, shoots, and 1!
Big shot.
And 1! And Sharpe will get called for the foul. Is He tried to stay with Carrington off the screen. 104-102. The Trailblazers will call a timeout. That's also the 5th team foul. All right, gang, come on back. We got a game here in Washington. 3:31 to go in the 4th quarter on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Blazers, Middleton, guarded by Shaden Sharp, left elbow, spins, left block, floats it up, bank, no foul, slam, Alex Sarr. He's got a double-double, 29 points, 10 rebounds, Wizards by 100-99.
And 5 blocks. He's been dominant.
And that's our Capital One easiest decision of the game. Yes, just foul it up. And that's what Alex Sarr did. It's presented to you by good friends at Capital One, offering checking savings accounts with no fees or minimums. What's in your wallet? We certainly hope it's Capital One. The Wizards tonight, 26 assists on 38 made field goals. Yeah. Now, remember, Monumental Sports has teamed up with Chinego Mayos on their Veteran Assist Program. Every assist the Wizards make, Chinego Mayos will donate $25 to the Vigilant Torch Foundation. It helps support our nation's veterans. Again, tonight, the Wizards with 26 points. So you multiply that times 25. That's $650 so far going to the Vigilant Torch Foundation. Thank you, Chinego Mayos, helping our veterans with your assistance. 3:31 left, 4th quarter.
Dave, during this timeout, if I'm Brian Keefe, I'm saying to my team, now Bilal Coulibaly is back in the game. So it's Bob Carrington, Alex, Middleton, Coulibaly, and Keyshawn. So, you know, if I'm Brian Keefe, I'm not talking about anything else. Nothing but defensive rebounds. But keeping them off the offensive boards. That's all I would talk about. Boxing out, laying bodies, forget about where the shot comes from, get a hand up, and box out. Get physical on the boards.
Wizards is a team 10 of 12 from free throw line as Bob Carrington makes the free throw. His first free throw attempt. 104-103 Blazers. 3:28 to go in the 4th quarter. Avdia in the center circle. Pressured by Bilal Coulibaly. Avdia cuts to his right elbow driving. Feeds under the basket. Klingon denied. Left corner Sharp. Back out front Holiday. Drives. Floats it up off the back of the iron. No. Sarr tips the rebound to Middleton as he wrestled with Klingon. Middleton. Hash mark left wing. Sarr top of the arc. Back to Middleton off the Sarr screen. Middleton lost the dribble. Recovers. Feeds under the basket. Coulibaly. He loses it. Recovers. Left the circle. George. 8 on the clock. Crossover. Takes a 3. It's there.
Huge.
Oh, it's there. 106-104. Keyshawn George. Ice in the veins.
Big church bells on that shot.
On the edge of the circle, Sharp. Guarded by George. Stop, start. Left the top E. Left wing, Avdia. Avdia now. Out front, top of the arc. Guarded by George. Avdia trying to go right. They're not letting him. Gets in the paint. Flips him the shot. Oh, catch it by Klingon. Bank, no. Volleyball around. Finally, Sarr grabs it after Klingon fouled. He had to foul Keyshawn George. So Klingon, as a Wizards, I think they were heeding the advice of Brian. They were fighting.
Yeah, well, you see what George did? Got inside position, was pushing him out. The only thing Klingon could do was reach over him because he laid a body on him. That's what I'm talking about. Lay a body on these guys. Get them out. Push them out. And George, you close this game on the boards.
Has earned 2 big free throws with the Wizards up 106-104. That's the 3rd foul on Klingon. George makes the free throw. 107-104. 2:24 to go in the 4th quarter. Wizards trying to stop a 9-game losing streak tonight. Keyshawn George, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists. He always does a little of everything. 8-0 Wizards run. 108-104. As he made both free throws. Holiday, edge of the circle. Top of the arc, guarded by Carrington. Holiday, edges in the paint, spins, shoots, line drive off the rim. Sarr grabs the rebound. And as Donovan Klingon's not in there right now, 2:05 to go. Center circle, Bob Carrington. Guarded out front by Kamara. Carrington, rocking the cradle, cuts to his right, back to Sarr. Left wing Middleton. Middleton to Sarr, left of the lane. He's double teamed out front Carrington. George has point right wing for three. Partially blocked by Jeremy Grant. Grant blocks it. 108-104. Holiday with a minute 42 left. Out front Kamara. Right elbow driving right of the strict yard. Bank scores. On Alex Sarr, no less. That was not easy for Tamani Kamara. 108-106 Wizards. A minute 34 to go in the fourth. Carrington now in the center circle. Guarded by Shaden Sharp. Carrington rocking the cradle back and forth. 10 on the clock. Cuts to his right elbow. Runner right side. Lane is good.
Wow.
That was smooth. 11 for Carrington. 110-106. Holiday drives on Sarr. Lost the ball into the right corner. He gets it back. Drives again on Sarr. Gets under the basket. Sarr blocks it. Holiday gets it back. And there's a 6 block for Sarr. Abdia trying to drive. George the steal. George foul line to the basket. Bank. No and one as Jeremy Grant grabbed his arm. But Sarr, matching his career high, with 6 blocks. And then Keyshawn George with the steal. 1:01 left in the game. The Wizards up by 4, and George is at the free throw line.
Boy, that was a KYP moment for the Wizards, because what they did was they took away Denny Avia's right hand. So he picked up his dribble and got the steal. Keyshawn George doing a really good job. I think understated this game is the defensive job he's done tonight. Keyshawn.
And he makes the free throw. 111-106. The Wizards with a minute 1 left. 112-106. All right, inbound to Holiday. Final minute of this game. At least regulation. Sharp, Capital One Arena logo right side. Will take a 3. Oh,
wow.
That cuts the lead in half. 29 for Shaden Sharp. 112-109 Wizards. 50 seconds left. Carrington in the center circle. Guarded by Sharp. Carrington with 13 seconds on the shot clock. Middleton, Capital One Arena logo on the right side, near midcourt. Drives on Holiday, knocked loose. 6 on the clock left. Circle. Carrington, top of the arc. Right elbow, right wing inside the arc, shoots. It's short. It's an air ball, goes out of play. 28.5 seconds left. The Wizards by 3.
Not a good possession there. They were going east to west rather than north to south. And the next thing they knew, that shot clock was dribbling down. And they had to take not the shot that they wanted.
All right, Jonathan Steele. Hey, listen, with Alex and Logan, bring the whole family. As Alex and Logan, you enjoy your snow day? Another snow day. 112-109 Wizards. Center circle now, Sharp. And George a foul as he went for the steal. 25.2 seconds left. Now that's going to be the first and the last 2 minutes. So the Wizards had a foul to give. Left sideline at the hash mark. The Blazers, they inbound the ball. There's a 6-second difference shot clock, game clock. Jeremy Grant out to Sharp, left the circle, guarded by Watkins. Sharp driving to the L slam. 20 seconds left, got right to the basket. 112-111. Shaden Sharp has 31. Middleton pressure in the backcourt. Midcourt George. He's fouled by Kamara. So George will go to the line with 15.5 seconds left.
You can't reach now when you're playing perimeter defense on this team, because they have 5 players, Portland, that can go downhill really quick. So if you reach, you're going to get burned. And that's what happened the last possession.
Keyshawn George at the line to shoot 2. 4 of 4 tonight from the line. Wizards have 2 timeouts left. The Blazers have 2 timeouts left. With 15 seconds left, George missed the free throw. Another one coming for Keyshawn George. Done a little bit of everything tonight. He's got 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists.
And 3 steals. Really like him defensively. He makes that last one. That's nice.
113-111. All right, the Trailblazers call a timeout. Nobody moves. 113-111. 15.5 seconds left. We're coming back on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. They got it back with the Glenn Console. 113-111. Wizards on top of the Blazers, 15.5 seconds left in this fourth quarter. The Blazers now are down to one timeout. The Wizards have two timeouts. As this has been a very competitive game throughout. The Wizards actually have the biggest lead, 11. The Blazers' biggest lead, 7. Blazers, 69-44 advantage on the boards. Donovan Clingan, 20 rebounds alone. But the Wizards have forced the Blazers into 20 turnovers that they benefited from 29 points. And this is a Blazer team. That's an Achilles heel, the turnovers.
Yeah.
Wizards have taken advantage of that.
Well, you know the ball is probably going to go to either Holiday or Denny Avdi on this play. And it might not be. Got to be careful there.
Well, Shaden Sharp and Jameer Watkins are kind of pushing each other. Is the that Glenn Contro was talking about is at the elbow.
Well, he got hit with an elbow, and Watkins threw it right back at him.
Kamara, hash mark left sideline, 15.5 left. Left the circle, Sharp. Goes at Watkins. Crossover, fades. It's off the rim. Good defense, Watkins. Middleton gets the rebound. He is surrounded. Watkins just swarmed on Shaden Sharp. Sharp, who has 31, but could not convert. And now Middleton will go to the free throw line with 6.5 seconds left, and the Wizards up by 2.
Plays like that excite me because it had nothing to do with scoring. It was all about defense. Watkins did a great job staying with him because Sharp went into that step back move, and he was right there, right in his face, hand up, protected the ball, protected his eyes, got his hand in front of his eyes, and he missed the shot.
And Middleton makes the shot, 114-111. 6.5 seconds left.
Here's the big one.
Blazers have one timeout. Again, Watkins, he's NBA defensive ready.
Love that.
Against a guy who has 31 points tonight, and he shuts him down at the elbow. 114-111. Middleton's second one is good. That was a huge one. 115-111. All right, gang, we're going to do it again. We pause 30 seconds, and we're going to come back as the Wizards look to say goodbye to this 9-game losing streak. Back in a moment on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Dave Johnson back with Glenn Consor's Jameer Watkins. That might be the play of the game, his defensive shutdown of Shaden Sharp, because that would have tied the game at 113. Instead, the shutdown, part of it, you have to get in the rebound, which the Wizards did. Middleton was fouled, makes 2 free throws. It's 115-111. And the Wizards, it looks like it's going to be a hard-fought win. I say looks like. 6.5 seconds left. Now, the Blazers have to go for 3 here, you would think.
Got to go for 3. And then they got to foul right away.
All right. Blazers will inbound on the right sideline, working right to left in the front court. Alex Sarr will cover the inbound. Toumani Camara on the inbound. Camara into Sharp, right corner over George for 3 out the side of the backboard. George the rebound. 9-game losing streak. Get out of here. Get out of here. The Wizards back in the win column. A 115-111 win over the Portland Trail Blazers. The Wizards just got it done. Another important lesson for this Wizards team as they battled in a close game.
That was a gritty win. One on a defensive play by Watkins down the stretch. And that's how you want to win games, on the defensive end. Love to see that.
Well, that's the identity that the Wizards want. And Jameer Watkins, again, he's coming off a 5-steal performance on Saturday. As we're joined by Chris Middleton. And Chris,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much. You helped our blood pressure with those made free throws, so we appreciate that. I just want to get you to comment on Jameer Watkins. We were just talking about him. He's a rookie, but he seems NBA defensive ready.
Are you on there? Yeah, I'll come back with you.
Just your thoughts on Jameer Watkins. You're a popular guy, Chris. We understand. Your thoughts just on Jameer Watkins and what he did in a critical moment against Shaden Sharp.
That was huge. huge. You know, Shaden Sharp, he had a game going. To shoot the ball, to drive, to do a little bit of everything. And, you know, for a rookie to come in at the end of a game, make a huge defensive stop to win the game, it's always a big deal. So hats off to him for being ready for the moment and coming in and doing his job.
Chris, it looked to me like this was a KYP type game, know your personnel. You guys did some things down the stretch that were really nice. Obviously that play by Watkins, but also forcing Denny to go left a couple times. You guys created turnovers. Talk a little bit about the progress of this team, focusing on the little things.
Yeah, we're growing. I think each game, we see it, we feel it. The results may not be the way we want it, but when we watch film, when we go through our analytics stuff that coach has been harping, we've been hitting our goals and getting closer to new goals. So the improvement is there. Today showed with the win, so hopefully we keep stacking great days and see more wins.
Talking about stacking great days, great to see you with 19 points tonight. How you feeling? Because I know you've been battling through a lot.
Yeah. You know, I've had a long career so far, trying to keep going. My body feels great. You know, the team, the organization, they've been doing a great job of keeping my body healthy, ready to perform each night. So I'm just trying to take advantage of these moments.
Hey, Chris, it's got to be rewarding to see Alex Sarr play the way he's doing, not only offensively, career-high 6 block shots tonight.
For sure. I mean, he's a guy that does everything out there. We count on him. We lead him. We need him. He knows that we're counting on him every single night to change the game for us on both sides of the ball. And, you know, he's been great all year, as you see with the Rising Stars All-Star game selection. So big time for him.
Chris, go enjoy this one. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys.
Chris Middleton joining us. 115-111. Wizards win over the Blazers. Hey, gang. It's $2.50 Big Mac tomorrow, only on the McDonald's app because the Wizards did win. Hey, Trippy, glad to have you finding us at the end on Sirius XM. Cornell hockey fans still with us and others. We're back to get you set with the Michelob Ultra postgame show. We hear from Chase Hughes and so much more on the Washington Wizards Radio Network. Looking for an option, cutting to the basket, Caleb Love, going reverse, and Alex Sarr's third block. Alex said no, Middleton left elbow, left corner, Koulibaly for three, it's there! It's there! A 16-0 run! Wizards up 47-38.
Look how successful they've been, pushing the ball up the floor.
And that's Orlando's defensive play of the year, the first half. Alex Sarr, with 3 blocks in that first half, helping the Wizards to a 60-53 lead on the Blazers at halftime. We'll come back, take a look at more of the numbers, and get you set for the second half. We're having some fun. I hope you are too on this Tuesday night on the Washington Wizards Radio Network.
Everybody eats, fellas. Doesn't matter who gets the ball, who shoots it, who passes it. You know, we just worried about getting the bucket and running the score up as much as possible, but getting stops on the defensive end. And everybody contributed.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
This is Wizards Radio 24/7.
That's the reason I'm a Wizards fan.
On January 9th, the Washington Wizards made headlines with a mega deal acquiring 4-time All-Star point guard with the Atlanta Hawks Trae Young in exchange for Corey Kispert and C.J. McCollum. Trae Young playing in only 10 games so far in the 2025-2026 season as he's been dealing with knee and quad injuries, but his resume speaks for itself. Averaging over 25 points per game for his career and third all-time in career assist average at 9.8 times per game. But what might have been his best performance against the Wizards, you might ask? Well, for that, you have to go back to February 26th of 2020.
Second free throw is good. 75-72 Hawks. 3.8 to go. Baseball pass up court by Bertans. It's broken up, intended for Beal. Young gets it. Young just beyond midcourt. Lost the shot. Just beyond midcourt in the center circle makes it 78-72. Oh, he knew what he was doing. That's probably going to count. And Trae Young showing why he is an all-star starter. Out front, Reddish. Reddish back. Left wing, Young, long distance three. Got it. And looks skyward. Trae Young almost need a ticket for that shot. 103-78.
That's right. On the tragic day of Kobe Bryant's passing, Trae Young delivered a performance to remember. He had 45 points and 14 assists, one of his best games as an Atlanta Hawk coming against the Washington Wizards. Wizards fans can't wait till they get to see Trae Young put up those types of numbers in a Wizards number 3 uniform, but we're still waiting for when that might happen. Of course, we already mentioned the injuries that have limited him to just 10 games so far this year. He is going to be recovering from those injuries with the Wizards for now.
Jason Snyder, Arlington, Virginia, Wizards Radio 24/7.
On January 9th, it all became official. Trae Young acquired by the Washington Wizards in exchange for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert, and some of the instant reaction came to you on the Michelob Ultra postgame show, where myself and Chris Wright gave our thoughts on the trade.
I think as an organization, we have a long-term plan, and we're not going to do anything that deviates from that. As I kind of explained earlier, I think Trae fits into what we're trying to do based on the development of a lot of the other players and how he's going to help amplify them. So we're always going to be, like I said, opportunistic. And when you have a 4-time All-Star, All-NBA player available who wants to come to DC and help make it what we want it to be, it was an easy partnership and an easy decision, to be honest with you.
There we call it the Capital One easiest decision, not of the game, but of the transaction season, shall we say, as that was General Manager Will Dawkins earlier today talking about the Wizards trading for Trae Young. It became official, the 4-time All-Star with the Atlanta Hawks, now a member of the Wizards. C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert sent to Atlanta. No draft compensation exchanged either way. Brian Albin, Chris Wright with you here on the Michelob Ultra Post Game Show as the Wizards fall to the Pelicans 128-107, in part because the Wizards a little bit short-handed tonight because of that trade. You lose C.J. McCollum, you lose Corey Kispert, the player you traded for not available to play in Trae Young. That showed up certainly on the offensive end on a night where the Wizards struggled. But, Chris, want to just lock in more on the trade itself. And one of the things I thought is we were watching the game tonight, and as you referenced, we were hearing Jordan Poole get booed. How funny that Jordan Poole is in the building on the night where Trae Young gets introduced, because Trae Young arriving here is part of the transaction tree that Jordan Poole was a part of, right? Yeah. It goes from Bradley Beal to Chris Paul, from Chris Paul to Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole brings you C.J. McCollum. C.J. McCollum, the centerpiece in a trade that eventually brings you Trae Young. This has been something building over time as the Wizards are trying to look to acquire star talent. And today they bring in a star and no draft compensation goes the other way.
Right. One thing great about the Washington Wizards, what they've been able to do at that point guard position is flip. They've been able to turn this over, get this guy, turn this over to something else, and turn it to more value to the point now where we have a potential cornerstone of our franchise for the next 5-6 years, depending on how it goes. Now, what I like about this Trae Young fit and Trae Young coming to DC is he wants to be here. You know, and I heard him in his press conference. You heard him say how underrated of a city this is. And I'm a Washingtonian. I've been here, so I'm a little biased. But I do think as a city and as a market, this is a major market if approached the right way. And with him approaching it that way and understanding that this can be something, it's a diamond in the rough. We have a great organization that C.J. McCollum alluded to 1,000 times. We have a great young core, and he's coming in here he's still young, and he still has a lot of game left in him, and he has a chance to really put his imprint on a whole city. So I think he's taking a major gamble on himself, and I like it. This is like old school. I'm not going to go team up with anybody else. I'm going to go set my own standards, set my own rules, and I think Trae Young is built for this. If you watch him throughout the game, you see him jumping off the bench. He's helping people up off the floor. He's cheering his teammates up. He's giving people five. So I think that adding him, Trae Young, who's a bona fide leader, a bona fide, superstar in this league, just does so much for the growth of our young guys, does so much for Trey Johnson, does so much for Keyshawn George, does so much for Alex Sarr, does so much for Bilal Coulibaly, to the point where it allows them to almost play bigger and stronger than they were in the past. The same way Trae Young was in Atlanta and how he helped Jalen Johnson and guys of that nature. I think the same thing will happen here.
I think when you talk about Trae Young coming to D.C., we can look at it in two different vantage points. And the first is the Washington Wizards franchise this century. When they've had success, what have they had? They've had a true lead guard, point guard, who is not
Absolutely.
just a playmaker for others, but also a scorer.
Yes.
Whether it was Gilbert Arenas in the 2000s, John Wall in the 2010s, and the one time they made the playoffs so far this decade, you had Russell Westbrook, able to create for others, but also score the basketball. They haven't had that type of player in
Rod
5
Strickland
years.
before that.
And Rod Strickland in the 90s, yes. So, no player like a Trae Young at the point guard position since Westbrook.
Right.
They've had nice facilitators like a Monte Morris and a Tyus Jones, but they can't give you the scoring punch.
We've never had this level of scoring and assists at the point guard position from anybody. If you think about it, and productivity wise, like if you think about it, even John is 19 and 10. This is almost 30 points, and this is 28 points and 11 assists. This
25 and 10 for his career.
So this is at a whole different level, a whole different pace. So it'll be interesting. Like you said, we've always been successful having one of these type of guards in that position.
And then the other vantage point of what makes this deal interesting is that the Wizards have been very intentional since Will Dawkins, Michael Winger took over. They wanted positional size.
Yes.
They wanted length. They wanted guys who were maybe defensive minded first. Now, Trae Young is going to come here, and he does not necessarily have a defensive reputation. The Wizards know that. They acknowledge that. They're going to continue to work with him on his defense, but they think they've built the infrastructure around him that they can still have a good defensive team and that his offense can unlock the rest of the roster on that end of the floor.
Oh, yeah. If you look at the roster that's around Trae, this is why it makes the most sense, because there's nothing but length and athleticism around him. You go even to, first you start with Bilal. Then you go to Will Riley. Then you got Trae. You got Keyshawn, Alex. There's nothing but length and athleticism around him. So this can camouflage a lot of things. You're going to keep, if I was playing against the Wizards, I would try to put Trae Young in pick and rolls. But it's so much length and athleticism, it still shrinks the court. So it's not like that he's going to be on an island by himself and he can't do anything. So, and if he looked at it, and then he also has Travis Schlenk here as well, so that he's familiar with, I think it's just a very common diamond in the rough, and it took a lot of analyzing for him to see that this was really a good fit for him. And they're now, I think, one or two pieces away from being a real contender in 2 or 3 years.
Travis Schlenk is the connection that most people made as soon as the deal was done, but also Will Dawkins reminded us today that Trae Young was a kid from Norman, Oklahoma, coming to Oklahoma City games as a kid. While Will Dawkins was in that front office, he was very familiar with Trae Young and the Young family as well. So we are patiently and eagerly awaiting Trae Young's debut. We don't know when that will be as he continues to recover from both knee and quad ailments that have only allowed him to play in 10 games so far this season. But when he gets out on the court, the Wizards fans today in the house showed him they're excited and ready.
Go Wizards! Wizards Radio 24/7.
On January 9th, the rumors finally became truths, as the Washington Wizards acquired four-time All-Star point guard Trae Young from the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. It brought to an end Trae Young's tenure in Atlanta, the team that drafted him 5th overall in the 2018 NBA draft, a team that he once led to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021. But then the Hawks, despite a couple of playoff appearances afterwards, never could get past the first round, never could really climb that mountaintop again. But now he comes to Washington, D.C. with a resume that, quite frankly, the Wizards haven't had at the point guard position in quite a few years, something I talked about with Glenn Consor on the Wizards Power Hour. And certainly when you think of Trae Young, you think of one of the best creators and playmakers of the past 7 years or so, a career average of 25 points per game, the third best career assist average at 9.8 assists per game. Elite on that end of the ball. How important is it for this Wizards team, especially with all the youth they have, to bring in an initiator like that?
Well, he's an all-star, and he's an all-star point guard. So this team needs a point guard. He really, when healthy, he's a powerful and dynamic offensive engine that can create for himself, scoring opportunities for guys like Alex and Trae and Keyshawn and Bilal, all the young guys, and Bub. And he is a master at the pick and roll game and throwing the lob pass. So there's so many positive things that he brings to the table. And I think it's important to note too, Brian, that I don't think at this point of his career and when he's coming to this team, he's not coming here to be a savior. He's coming here to be a role player, and he can do so many things to fill that role.
And when you think of when the Wizards have been at their best this century, it's been with a premier point guard at the helm, whether it be Gilbert Arenas really playing for the most part that point guard role in the late 2000s, to John Wall, to 1 year of Russell Westbrook. Having an elite player at that position really can do so much for a team.
Absolutely. And I think ultimately with his skill set, when healthy again, it accelerates the development of the young players on this team because he can do so much to help them. He's a competitor, and he gets stuff done on the floor, and he's so dynamic that I think he has a lot to bring to the table. There's not many guys in the history of the NBA that have led the NBA in scoring and assists in the same year. In fact, it's only one player, and that's Nate Archibald, and who was one of my favorite players growing up.
Quite a player to share a resume with, and the Wizards will hope that Trae Young can have a Nate Archibald-like impact on Washington, D.C. whenever he does take the court. That doesn't appear to be in the immediate future as he continues to work his way back from knee and quad injuries that have kept him to only playing 10 games so far this season. But when he does get on the court, he provides an engine, like Glenn Consor said, that the Wizards have sorely been missing.
This is Dave Johnson, voice of the Washington Wizards, and we are so glad you're locked in right here. And stay here on Wizards Radio 24/7.
We're still in the New Year's spirit here on the Wizards Power Hour, Wizards Radio 24/7, and it's funny how sometimes, life can throw wrenches into your plans, right? After Wednesday night's show, when I made a list of my 5 favorite Wizards wins of the season, I figured I'd be able to replay that segment for folks who missed it on Wednesday and might be tuned in today. But then the Wizards went ahead and beat Milwaukee 114-113. On a winning bucket from C.J. McCollum in the final second. So that likely would have cracked my list. The last game played in 2025, definitely one of the top 5 Wizards wins of 2025. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to call an audible. We're going to give you a little replay of my 5 New Year's Wizards resolutions. You might have heard them on Wednesday, but for those who have not heard them yet, take a listen and enjoy. Just remember, there might be a couple numbers that have changed just slightly since Wednesday's performance. It's time now that I present to you my 2026 Wizards New Year's resolutions. And let's start out on the defensive side of the ball. For the 2026 portion of the season, I'd like to see the Wizards have a defensive rating of 116 points allowed per 100 possessions or lower. Over the last 9 games, the Wizards have gone 4-5, in large part because the defense has been trending in the right direction, as the Wizards have held teams to 117 points per 100 possessions. Why is the number 116 so important to me? Well, because coming into the season, Chase Hughes and I set the goal for this team that we wanted to see them play top 20 defense in the NBA. Right now, top 20 defense is right around 116 points allowed per 100 possessions. And here's the thing. The first month of the season was so bad on that end that it'll likely prevent the Wizards from being able to get into the top 20 by the end of the season. They're dead last right now, allowing 122 points per 100 for the season. But if they can start right now, the rest of the way, allowing 116 points per 100 possessions for the 2026 portion of the season, that rating would probably be in the top 20 in the league for the 2026 part of the schedule. And that's the type of progress we're looking for. And it will have to start on the perimeter.